and gentlemen, welcome back to the PlayStation Tournament's Apex Legends Master Circuit. Slay day number 1 for North America. We got through Europe earlier today. If you're just joining us, welcome to your very first broadcast of a tournament that has so much excitement going for it. I couldn't be happier to share it with someone who is a good friend, a great caster, an incredible Apex Legends player, and you know what? Honestly, that's really it. I think you don't get any more on your resume. That's enough. Girl, how you doing today? We've got another 6 games ahead of us that we get to walk everybody through.
Yeah, absolutely. And you've got an incredible resume yourself. Caster, content creator, storyteller. You do it all, honestly, out there. But yeah, excited to be here with you today. Excited to cast a bigger lobby tonight here with the NA region as well for PlayStation. It's going to be super exciting. I'm sure we'll see lots of surprises, different metas perhaps today.
I hope so. I think we saw a lot of variation in our first games in Europe, but that doesn't mean that everyone here saw that action. So for those who are just joining us, let's break down how this goes. What's the format of this tournament? What can you expect? Well, it's the Slay Day format. Typically, we will have everyone as trios, not arena, not control, fun modes, not this time around, traditional competitive Apex. The 20 teams is what we would expect in this lobby. We may have a little bit less than that today. We will keep you up to date on the numbers for that one. But typically what we'll see in these Slay Day formats, 6 games, that's a guarantee. 6 games will decide your winners, but it's all going to come down to how well they do in those games, and that all comes down to the points. Girl, why don't you walk them through what that means?
Absolutely, I got you all. So first place is going to be the most points, obviously, 12 points for first. For second place, you're going to get 9 points. For third place, you're going to get 7 points. For fourth place, you're going to get 5 points. And when you get fifth place, you're going to get 4 points. For 6th and 7th, you get 3 points, which is the same as 3 eliminations as well, because each elimination is 1 point. And then for 8th to 10th, you're going to get 2 points. And then 11th through 15th, you're going to get yourself 1 point. And then 16th to 20th, well, try not to die early, all right, folks? Because you definitely don't want that goose egg on your resume.
And, of course, when you look at what that goose egg might represent, it's a goose egg in terms of cash prizing, because you need more points to take the top spot. Baguette ESL representing in the European side, who will be our winners in North America. First place will go to them, $600 for the squad. Not a bad day at the office at all. Second will be $300, third and fourth, $150, and fifth and 10th, very important spots because they will qualify us towards a grand final. What does that really mean? Well, we have 4 Slay Days that are going to be qualified the week before we play these Slay Days. So these teams already played to qualify to get into this tournament. Now they're on broadcast. Top 10 will be qualifying for our grand finals, and those grand finals will have a bigger prize pool, and they will have more competition. Of course, we've got teams today that are going to be battling it out. Get used to these names. We're seeing them. Net Collectors. That's actually kind of a not bad one. Thunder Clutch 007. I like that. I'm a little bit more of a James Bondy kind of guy myself. The Ultimate Lovers Trio. I'm hoping to see some good synergy from that team, girl. Alliance of Torment. Hopefully they can stay allied in at least something. Hopefully not Torment, though. A Toaster. Wow, keeping it real simple, under the radar. And I like that as well. It's Bad News, Suru versus Tornado, THV, Team High Voltage, Bot Squad, Fake Preds, and All Seeing Eye. That is our squad list today. And those are the ones we're going to be watching in our tournament. Of course, if you want to watch more Apex Legends action, if you want to be caught up on all the things going on PlayStation tournaments, make sure to check out compete.playstation.com. That is where you go for all of your needs, whether it's Mortal Kombat and Street Fighter in our FGC Summer Arcade Community Series, or whether it's Apex Legends and our Master Circuit coming in for one of these other Slay Days. You feel you deserve to be here, go ahead, sign up. You have a chance to get into these competitions, win prizes, and compete. All right, so that's day number 1. Halfway through, we start North America. We begin the saga of across the pond. And what will it tell us, girl? I think we're going to see a lot more, A, teams in this lobby, which is great, but B, maybe a little bit more variation. It's not strange to think that Europe and North America have some different tastes in how they like to put together their Apex Legends lineups.
Very true. It might be different playstyles because we have more teams in this lobby. We might see some rivalry. You'll never know. We might see some close leaderboard action. You know, it could be anything, honestly. But from the NA scene, I've seen a lot of Newcastle, so we might see more of that here today.
Ooh.
I don't know if we're going to see Mirage like we did today, Mad Maggie. I don't know if we're going to see that in the NA region, so we're soon to find out here. Our game number 1 will be starting soon. But yeah, what are you excited to see?
Honestly, I think Newcastle is the number 1. We need more reps. We need more information. Jay Beebs, shout-outs to the Respawn designer and Apex Legends designer as well. There's been so many changes on that team, but Jay Beebs been around and steadily being a good asset to the community. Had a little bit of a thread that I caught a glimpse of from an article about. So I can't say I've seen it firsthand, but the conversation was around, you know, balancing and why they like characters to come out a little stronger than weaker. And this is actually something that, believe it or not, girl, was my first ever viral video on my YouTube channel. And at that point in time, I was small potatoes. Viral for me meant 100,000 plus views, which was a lot as a small starting YouTuber. Today, I think viral means a lot more than that, but it was talking about how much of a value asset it is for developers to get reps on new characters, to get information on what to tune. It is tough to put out a character and have them never sit in the high level, have them never get exposed to the fullest degree by the best players who are in their nature trying to expose as much as they can before it gets nerfed about a character. And I think Rampart's a great example of a character we don't have enough reps in the high level of. I want to see Newcastle shown and given reps so we can see where the tuning needs to happen. Does it need to be tuned? Is it more powerful than people think? Or do we need to tune it back as well? This is always a great conversation. I always try to tell people better to come out a little stronger, have players playing it, and get that information to make better adjustments for the long term.
So as we were talking about earlier today that we haven't seen in our EU region, what are you looking at here?
Seer, isn't it?
Yeah.
Look at that squad. Seer, Bangalore, Valkyrie? Talk to me about that.
The Seer and Bangalore combo works well because you can smoke anywhere you want to, and then you can see them through that smoke, right? So the the Bangalore kind of provides some sort of defense in these open fields. You kind of make those smoke walls and hope that the enemy team doesn't have a digi threat. But at the same time, you're gonna have to expect some people to have digi as long as they're doing the armory as well. We have some Watson action, some Ashe action. We didn't see much Ashe earlier
We did not.
Yeah.
That was weird.
And I'm maining Ashe this season, so I'm surprised that I didn't catch that earlier as well. There's actually so much fun action, some surprising moments that, you know, we didn't see the Ashe. We didn't talk about it much, but we'll be able to talk about it more here as these teams drop and pick the drop spot. So something to note is Cenote Cave wasn't taken, Barometer wasn't taken on the map. We've got some good POIs, and as you can see, there's 2 teams wanting to go down Beast. That's one of our newest POIs and most popular POIs because it has such great loot. So you're gonna see, it looks like one team decided not to take it. I think that's the all-seeing eye. They don't want to be the first to die. They do not want to take this 50-50 contest, but they have lots of space to go elsewhere on this map.
Well. Our first Octane, too. We've seen a lot of changes already for North America. The all-seeing eye. I wonder why no Bloodhound is represented. Maybe because they've got it in the lore, in the name. So they're really fighting with 4 here instead of just the 3. We've got the Spirit of Bloodhound helping them to scan through walls, see their opponents behind corners. But this is a rare one. I mean, this is a very, you know, I think in traditional terms would call bizarre lineup of characters. But, you know, there's something behind it, girl. What are you seeing into the eyes of the all-seeing eye, Father, with the Octane Crypto Valkyrie?
I can tell you right off the bat, I see an EMP into a triple jump pad in their face type of deal here. Although the jump pad did get nerfed, still a jump pad, right? So as long as they can execute that properly, I think they'll do fine. I honestly never seen that in the high level. After Octane got nerfed, I feel like more people were scared to use the jump pad to get kind of beamed mid-air. I think the comp might work better with Ash, so you could just teleport from one spot to another, but hey, you never know. I might be chewing my words later on after this team gets first place or something, so.
Very true.
We gotta wait to find out.
I think, you know, I think ultimately I'm a big fan of experiment and show me something I haven't seen before. That's something I love as a caster. And again, some rare sights to be inside it. The Trident with the Gibraltar Dome Shield. Sometimes we get to see it in action from afar, almost as a fun little kind of fantasy flyby, but you know, you see the actual real impact on that. You could throw gas canisters on there as well. The greatest one that I've seen recently, and you might have caught that in the video you're referencing, is the riot drill on the crypto drone, which you can actually throw the riot drill from Mad Maggie onto the drone and fly the drone into people as it's spraying and melting them down. So a lot of fun interactions that can be had in Apex Legends. We don't often get to see them in competitive. It's good when we do.
Oh yeah, I think I've seen a clip of Timmy and Ace who were doing that back in the day. Not 100% sure, but yeah, those are some fun times. And you remember when you could put the caustic traps on the Trident, I think, and kind of drive them around or stack them up on a Gibby shield or something too. I don't know if you remember those days. It was a long time ago.
Yeah, I think there's such variety in this game that it makes it's such a longevity, just really such longevity attached to the IP. It's been great to be a part of it since the inception of it, and it's always fun to see the new things that people come up, even when you think you've seen it all. It's going to be a western circle near Down Beast, centering around Mill checkpoint. And so that's going to force a lot of the teams here from the eastern side to move west. A couple will have to go through each other. See some problems down near Antenna. Two teams already in a 50-50 contest. They'll have to rotate quite a long way with each other in the zone.
I think other squads have already been...
But Antenna is also one of my least favorite places to fight, girl. I feel like there's so many treacherous areas to hold and angles that you can get easily exposed, and you fall down. You're very isolated away from your squad. And you just have to play it really well. This is where TSM like to land. And obviously they get a lot of space and respect, but if you don't, it's pretty tricky.
Yeah, it is. I also don't really like to fight here in Antenna just because there's so many like buildings that you could kind of get the height on. You get some head glitches, but it's really hard to close the gap in kind of those containers there in the middle. Or that like triangle area, but oh my goodness, Casper actually going down to a flat line. I don't know if they're going to be able to recover from this, as they've already used the Ash portal there. Octane down to 1 HP. We're going to have to try and recover banners a little bit later on. But which way do we run? Because there's so many teams around. I think we go barometer side, but we are getting hard chased here.
And they want something in that one. Not sure what they're going to get out of it. Octane almost stemmed himself out of the fight. Can't do that, luckily. I've tried many a time. It'll just go down to 0. But just should let an Octane know you're really running out of time, buddy. Might want to heal. Things haven't been going your way. Banner's not recovered either. But it's just going to be a clean escape for now for the solo. And the all-seeing eye going to have to try to find a way back to those banners. Looks not easy as Alliance of Torment sitting pretty behind this rock, testing the team to their opposite side. A couple of shots.
Yeah, this is also a tricky place to fight because you can get climbed up on from multiple angles. So you do want to make sure you're aware, but we do have a Gibby on this team, so it does give them a little bit more leeway than others. And taking a look at the zone here, oh, we've got another fight, and there it goes, Bite, as High Solo has to try and clutch this up. We're recovering one banner. I don't know if we're going to be able to recover two. We're just going to skyward dive right out of here. Can we make it out alive? I think so, because there's a lot of trees covering the line of sight of the opponent. But where do we fly to? Because there's not many safe places. Maybe we're going to Rat. I don't know if we escape here alive. Looks like we're trying to look for a Rat spot for now, which is quite all right. High Solo heals up on the last syringe. We won't be able to take too much storm damage since it's our last syringe. Are we going to go for the revive already? A little bit questionable, but if we get the revive off in time, we might be able to go for that secondary banner because it's a good distraction.
And, you know, you really have to just be quick about these things sometimes. Yes, I know it's kind of like a double-edged sword, which we mention often in Apex, but, you know, you wait too long, you don't have the chance. You do it now, maybe you get a chance, you get one, they attack, you get the other, you get a chance to maybe have two at the end of the day, versus waiting too long and you just die as a solo. So, I mean, I'm for action in that regard. And All-Seeing Eye, at least for now, is going to pay off. RU45, at least he's got an HCOG. Am I right? It's a little easier to at least get a good sight when you're dealing with loot that you don't like to make you feel comfortable. It's not much, but it's certainly a consolation prize for those who have those early game drop looting troubles. And there it is, trading one for one there. And Soul Grinder might just be willing to go ahead and finish it off. Not sure he wants to continue the belabor kind of experience of trying to get one up yet again and get another back.
Well, he does have time for her banner, but he might opt to do the same thing that she did by reviving one teammate and then going back for the banner. Although if we do use so many respawn beacons, there might be none left for anyone else to use at the end of the game. So
the ultimate strategy.
Strat. Yeah, I do like the strat though. It's great distraction. You're able to get one teammate up. That way, if you go back for the banner and you die, well, at least your team's not full dead. But after using so many respawn beacons, you start to question it a little bit.
I think that is very, 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 very low in the totem pole of ideal strategies that you'd want to be in. I think that's if everything goes wrong, how do we handle it? Certainly not where you want to start a fight. And Kellyfer trying to finish it. There will be a down onto the crypto. And iBite will go down. So they've been trading. I think every member has had their turn of being alive. And is now still no, you know, Soul Grinder's back. They've rotated through Heat Solo to iBite to Soul Grinder. And there it is.
Enemy in the distance.
But it's bad news. It's definitely the bad news for them. A Sentinel up on top with a Ranger. That's just too much damage for a team that's already so low on resources. A Toaster. I liked this name because it was simple, it was straightforward, and that to me is a team that has a game plan right away. That's a team that's not arguing about super fancy things, trying to make their name as memey as possible. They're just saying, we're a Toaster. Deal with it. Who cares about our name? Or maybe they do care. Maybe they love toast. Either way, they're ready to go get things done. And they've got an interesting composition, the Bangalore and the Newcastle, brother and sister actually on the same team. So cool little lore element to that team composition that's now available.
Oh, that's true. I never really thought of it that way. And actually, I watched your video on YouTube earlier today, the one you posted about Newcastle, and you ended up showing the cool finisher that happens only when those two finish each other. So that was really cool to see. Thank you for sharing that on the Rain Day Gaming channel.
Oh, thanks, girl. Well, I'm glad you watched. And I think, you know, it's fun to see, too. That's stuff that I think everyone is learning. There's this great period when, you know, new iterations and interactions come to play with an introduction of a new map, a new POI, a new character, new abilities, and so it's definitely very, very fun. That, as a little aside, the special finisher between Newcastle and Bangalore made no monetary value to them. It's actually lost them quite a bit of money to do that and cost a lot of resources. However, they felt it would be a very, very fun, specifically the designer Moipara, who I got to give a shout out to, just incredible figure, positive figure across Twitter and across the Apex community, said is just one of those things that they wanted to do. And I think that's kind of cool when you have a game that's intentionally designing elements around the game, just because they know that one player, that second player who discovers that is going to freak out and feel that much more connected to the game that they're playing and spending hours and time in. So kudos to the animation team. You know, we've got Bangalore's and we've got Newcastle's in this game. Who knows? Maybe we will see a Newcastle finish a Bangalore with that exact same finisher if the special brother-sister interaction. Who knows?
I got goosebumps right there. I got goosebumps. That was the most wholesome thing I've ever heard.
I love it. I love it. Well, you know, to me, too, it's important to see that these teams are bringing in really different compositions. We talked about where would it shift, girl, from Europe. I mean, clearly, it shifted quite a lot.
Yeah, it really did. And like I said, like I don't imagine too many people playing Mirage on this.
Right.
But we are seeing that Seer that I talked about earlier. I feel like Seer is utilized so much on this map because so many people like to play in these corners or these rat spots because there's so many of them, like on these rocks or in these buildings. They got a crack though. Oh, but Dizzy might be doing a little too much. This is a hard spot to fight. We're gonna have to kill that Horizon ultimate and play it safe here. We're taking some good angles. Can we get some good shots here? Almost got him. 50 HP left to their name. Kurjix going in, but we're not full committing. We're too scared to full commit, even though we've done 180 damage.
This is where you have to start taking risks positively. It's not going to look easier than this, and they know it. Kurjix around the corner, up into the sky they go. PK for the 27. Goes up and down. One taken care of, the other one around the rock. But they're still being chased. Kurjix, though, the one doing the damage. The missile swarm will hit late, and it actually will not be Kurjix. Oh, it will be Kurjix who gets so gunsy on the missile swarm. This is left so Dizzy to clean it up. What a play. Nice missile swarm. Kurjix to take down one of the two remaining and leave so Dizzy on the cleanup crew, the late night shift, to make sure everything looks pretty in the morning.
Well, hey, they did end up pushing it out, so really proud of them for doing so. It was a little bit slower, but hey, this is the first game, right? We've all got the jitters. It is the first game of the day. The tournament's just begun. I think that team's gonna play even more aggressive and even more flawlessly as the tournament goes on. But now moving on to Toaster. Toaster is flying in through. There is a team on the height, or is that the height or the low ground over there? No, they seem to be doing okay. They're gonna play high ground. They're gonna play edge moving forward in, and I really like the G7 Scout. Honestly, I prefer the G7 Scout over the Kraber these days. And I don't know who's gonna at me on Twitter, but yeah, that's something that I really like that.
I'm not going to at you on Twitter. I'm going to at you right now. Why would you say that? The Kraber is the only weapon that one shot kills. How come you love the G7 Scout so much? I mean, I like it, but how come?
Honestly, I just like, you know, when you can hit each shot and they do so much damage. I like tracking with the gun, I would say. But the Kraber, it's just not as flowy of a gun. And they got nerfed, so if you hit a body shot, it's not gonna knock anyone. And it's gonna feel, I feel like now that they nerfed the Kraber, it needs more shots in it. What do you think?
You know what? I actually really like that description because I think it is true. The Kraber nerf, the conversation around that weapon kind of getting back into reasonability is one that will open the door for weapons like G7 Scouts. I love the G7. I just don't play with it enough, and I haven't played with it enough lately. It used to be my favorite kind of mid-range assault rifle, kind of, you know, sniper, you know, interim. And I just really miss it being ground loot. It has been a long time. I think I've probably taken out some repressed anger on, you know, my fact that I'm saying now I don't like it. I probably love it too much, and I'm just mad that I haven't been able to use it.
Yeah, honestly, I used to use it a lot as well. So being able to play it, and now that's a little bit, a little bit stronger than it used to be. It just makes it that much better. Although it does suck when you run out of ammo with these really strong guns, right? So that's why I kind of wish some of them had a little bit more ammo to their clip, but it's okay. In this zone here, though, we're going to see a lot of Bangalore's and Gibraltar's prevail because it's such an open map. If you don't have a Bangalore or a Gibraltar, it's going to be hard to survive. Kind of like this team we're watching right now, Fake Preds. They're going to be able to stall a little bit with the Horizon Q, but where are they going to go? They need to find a spot where they can safely sit down and breathe for a moment because they're getting targeted by both sides of the map. And there is XO trying to jump pad away with 50 HP left to their name. I think they end up going down there by Nate with the Hemlock. So they're gonna have to try and make that recovery. Maybe with the Q here. Yep, that's a good save. Might be able to get him.
Great use of the Horizon tactical gravity lift, bringing him hopefully back closer towards safety, but it just may not be enough. Teams all around. It is only getting tighter here as round 4 starts to close. 6 squads still remaining here in our first game of North America in our PlayStation tournaments, Apex Legends Master Circuit. Slay Day number 1, fighting for supremacy and a spot at the top. Not only the cash prize, but a spot in our grand finals in about a month or so. There's a lot more to be done for Suru, V8, Toonhead. But they're about to do it. They're stepping into this 3v3. The Keegan takes the real wide angle, and he almost loses everything. Forces his own shield, and that's going to create a missile swarm as well for some poke. Hits the shield, Keegan's backed out. And last Starboy actually, unfortunately, and I'm sure mishappenly, steps in, bites off a little more than they can chew. It's all up to After Die, but it seems like it's a day late and a dollar short. That's all your plugs cleaning up that kill. Failed push there by AXD.
Yeah, I wonder what really sealed the deal for them. Should the Octane have really held that medkit as their teammates were getting shot at? I'm not 100% sure there because they ended up getting cracked immediately after anyway. So maybe it would have been more beneficial just to help with 100 HP. But they're definitely going to be taking a look at that recap later on. We've got Nate with the Hemlock. Oh, taking in so much damage, 60 HP left. We don't have a Watson Gen, and now Nate's gonna go down.
Would have loved defensive there. Unfortunately, rolling barrage from the Bangalore. So many big things hitting as ultimates. Sometimes it's easy to confuse the names. Ends up destroying them, and so the Watson team falls, forced to get out of that zone, and that's a problem if you're a Watson because you're supposed to be good at staying where you are. It's a toaster. I told you there was something about this team that was so consistent. Is that? Yeah, I think it's the right call. Give themselves a little bit of space. They decided to keep as much on the high ground as possible and not to dip to give cover over to a better head glitch or better height on this side. But they certainly didn't go too aggressive. They kind of split the difference, and maybe that's the safest call, and maybe that's why they've been so successful. A toaster just doing the right things. And now it is Inacan and D-Pro Skills who have separated themselves. It is going to force Toaster to make a decision. How do we attack these teams? How do we fight? You can expect a Rolling Thunder to be thrown right about now. And so that is going to force an interesting situation. It's clearly in the numbers' favor on the side of Toaster, but they may have to move here because they don't have any traditional shielding. They're going to have to either take this damage or get lucky and avoid it. And your plug's TTV, he might have just found a way to avoid that.
Infamous Sniper barely got to pop a shield battery, but hey, this is the 3v2 situation we were talking about earlier. They're able to crack one on the Trident, so they should be able to push off that, but D-Pro is playing very well and very secure to hold them off here. Anakin does, in fact, have EMP here, but they are stuck in this corner. Can they pull off this 2v3?
I mean, this shouldn't happen, but you know why? D-Pro's on 7 kills. Clearly, this team is confident. They have been running through this lobby. Look at this. 1,600 damage. What a game one. But the EMP is maybe the only chance they've got. The mobile shield, got to give a shout out to the way Call Me Bot TV stopped the pressure that was coming in from D-Pro, and this is the push that you need. All three have to commit here. They're using the truck as great mobile cover, focusing on the crypto. This gives D-Pro a chance. Will there be a down? No, not on the Call Me Bot just quite yet. There's that mobile shield. Newcastle, welcome to the fight, my friend. Your sister took you out this time around, but it doesn't stop a toaster from popping off.
Incredible. The hip fire, the playing the shield, pushing as a unit, making sure that no one goes down for free. They did it well there. It was a 3v2 situation. It's really hard for D-Pro to pull that off, but they did well. They got an amazing amount of kills. So it's actually going to be interesting to see who actually ended up on top in the leaderboards this time around.
Right, because it's really only 3 points. I mean, at the end of the day, it's a 3-point difference, even though when you look at it, it's really 5 or 6, because to win the game, you've got to take down that second-place squad. So it ends up being a decent amount, but those 6 points, you know, it depends. There were 7 kills at the very least on that side of D-Pro. Really nice stuff. And I got to say, you know, it started out really well in this game 1, giving us a lot of looks at a lot of different legends, having engagements all over the map.
Oh, this was our first engagement here where that team ended up losing 1 by 1 by 1. Oh, net collectors. They ended up pushing off this and ended up winning this squad wipe. Very good shots with the R31, but they didn't push quite right away, but they ended up doing the job regardless. Dizzy comes out with the clutch here after Kurgix ends up going down. It's hard playing Horizon or playing in the air there because it's easy to get beamed, but Dizzy with the 1v2 clutch hit fire flatline. There we have it. There we go. Kurgix in this PK fight not able to do it, but Dizzy again with the clutch with Ham's fake, and the revive from Bangalore is essential with that smoke to cover.
The shift in Bangalore play over the course of Europe and North America is certainly astounding. We've seen many different lineups come to play today, none including the smokes, and that would be the difference. It would be D-Pro against a toaster. 7 kills on the side of D-Pro and the Crypto, but Call Me Bot TV would stand up to the task. He'd throw the mobile shield, but he'd get punched out by his sister. In game, of course, as sisters sometimes do to their brothers. But it would ultimately be a toaster who would win at the end. And your plugs, Plug TTV, Infamous Sniper, and Call Me Bot. Great performance from them to start us off here in our North America Slay Day number 1.
And take a look, 26 points to our winners, a toaster, which is 10 more than the Ultimate Lovers at 16 points. So we already got the big gap between first and second, but you can catch up. It is Apex Legends. It's bad news. At third place with 10 points, Fake Preds with 9 points. We've seen them there today. A little bit rough on their end. Net Collectors, 7 points. 007 with 5 points. Suru with 4 points. The Bot Squad with 3 points. The Alliance at 3 points as well. And THV Team Hy-Vee with 3 points.
Really liking what I'm seeing from Net Collectors as well, running this year. I think, you know, to have 7 points when 16 was second place and you're at 26, it's still staying involved. It's a new legend. It's one of the only legends that was been introduced that we haven't seen all day alongside the Bangalore and the Octane, but it's just been great to see, you know, the impacts of having a Seer in the lobby. It definitely was forcing some serious rock play and gravity cannon play to try to avoid a lot of the Seer Qs that were coming out. Just the disrupts, the vision, the damage. It's just something that is definitely a nuisance to play around. And people have to start getting used to that in these lobbies, because it seems like it's only getting more and more appropriate to play a Seer every now and then on one of the few teams that are existing here in competitive. Now, we are at PlayStation Tournament's Apex Legends Master Circuit Day 1, but it doesn't mean that you can't be a part of Master Circuit Slay Day number 2 or 3 or 4, or even see us in the Grand Finals, or make sure you have all the information to watch along. That all happens at compete.playstation.com. If you haven't gone, go ahead, type it in the browser. Do it right now. If you're on your phone, just open up a second page. Do it. It'll be worth it, because you'll have the hub there at that point for everything going on as far as PlayStation tournaments. So you never get to see miss, girl or I, casting any of this Apex Legends stuff or missing any of the great action we've got, whether it's the FGC Summer Fighting Game Series, where you can find Mortal Kombat, Tekken, Street Fighter, Dragon Ball Fighters. Am I missing one? There's a great fighter out there. There's another good one out there that I know I'm missing that they do. But either way, you get to see all of that and give me the information in the chat after you check it out. Game 2 on the way, coming up here, girl. Let's recap a little bit. I mean, obviously, Game 1 went really well. A lot of different lineups showing up, but it was a Toaster who, for whatever reason, really tried and true, really consistent play, and just kind of walked through pretty easily in that final circle with good positioning and taking advantage of their numbers.
Yeah, it was a really difficult end zone to play for a lot of these teams. So a lot of the teams that we've seen with a more aggressive composition with Wraith and Octane, they weren't able to really do so much because it was such an open zone where Newcastle, Gibby, and Watson and Bangalore would kind of excel in there. So definitely hard for some of the teams. It was a hard end zone, and we are going to see some different end zones being played out. So hey, to each comp, we'll have a better kind of end zone to play out with the Watson in the buildings in Cascade Falls or something like that. So we'll definitely see in the future. But yeah, the Bangalore positioning there was really, really well played with. And the ultimate usage at the perfect timing. They pushed in at the perfect timing on the duo. They almost lost Pugs there. I think Pugs was like 20 HP or so. So it was really important to stay alive in that situation.
Man, it's amazing just for those who have stayed with us. I know we've got a lot of people watching as well. I always like to sometimes give a shout out to the chats on every location that we are streaming and just make sure that everyone's enjoying, having a good time. But a lot of people have been watching throughout the day, and what they're seeing is that is a drastic shift. It's not often that we get to see these isolated tournaments come together. We've obviously gotten to see that recently in Sweden, but we do also have kind of this appreciation of, most of the time you do what you think is right, we do what we think is right, and we live in these isolated ecosystems of how Apex Legends should be played. Where we saw maybe the fringe picks last round being like Aloba, for instance, seeing none of that here, but we're seeing a Seer. And I want to kind of dive a little deeper into the meta composition because everything that you're picking up, that's fun. We could talk about Seer, what he brings to the table, but it's also what are you leaving? And we're seeing a lot of teams choose to leave out some staple picks. And my question is why? Why going for these picks that, might be a little bit more fringe? And is in the mind of a competitor, someone who's competed in tournaments like this, girl, can you give any insight as to why you would be a team, if you ever would be, it would go, yeah, let's play Seer instead of Caustic, or let's do this instead of, some Ash, right? Something more traditional that we've seen work for a little bit, something risky.
So the thing is when there's like the wall hack meta, so we've seen this before with Bloodhound and now we're seeing it with Seer, is nobody kind of wants to be left out. If 10 teams are playing Bloodhound and you're not playing a wall hack character, then you're going to feel like you're constantly at a disadvantage when you're in a fight because they know where you are and you don't know where they are. So once a few teams play Seer, then more and more teams are going to want to play Seer because they want to have the same advantages as you and they want to kind of have a fair fight. Now, not every team does this, but it kind of seems to end up being a trend in a lot of cases. Now, when we're talking about different regions, that's why LAN events are so special because we get to see the different metas collide, clash. We don't see everybody kind of doing the same thing. So that's why the LAN events are a lot different than what we see in online events.
Well, let's see here. Great explanation as well, girl. Shout out to Net Collectors and going for the Seer. So Dizzy, the one representing that. We've got the Bot Squad, Eloquent, Baton on the Newcastle, Grand Fetty on the Newcastle as well as Call Me Bot on a Toaster, the winners of our last game. We did see a Loba, actually, just in this lobby. I'm not quite sure who was grabbing it, but I did see a Loba come into play. So variety, variety, variety. It's the spice of life, and it seems to be the theme of Game 2 in our North America Masters Circuit. Team HV THV. I like it. I love to see it. And we are playing a little more north than usual. That circle over the course of today has ended a lot closer to command center. In fact, right around command, as Girl, you so appropriately called a few games ago, literally ending on the word command on your map on the left-hand side of your screen. We'll see if that trend continues. So far, people just landing, trying to get set up. Game 2, stakes relatively high, but not as high as they're going to be later on. Still some early skirmishes can take place, and that's exactly what we got here with Suru. AXG after die on the PK.
All right, so we had a couple PK pumps onto the Wraith, who did end up phasing out and almost escaped. Now, can she make it into the building? She is at 1 HP, and she's gonna need an armor swap and quick, because these folks are pushing and pushing fast. We've got a wingman, which does a lot of damage, and this member, after die, didn't even find the time to heal. They did use the gravity cannon to get out. Are we really going to be chasing on this gravity cannon? Because it can be very dangerous if we do.
It could be fun too, though. Right?
Oh yeah, very fun. They go back to lobby.
Well, then you can get up from your desk. You can go, do whatever you want. Watch your favorite TV show, in between. There's a lot of options that you can do there. Not if you're streaming, though. That's for sure. You still have to entertain the fans. Wonder if any of these players are streaming. Always a good question. Always something that I hesitate on making a big call on. I think to each their own. You see the benefits it can have. High-level players in Apex streaming has been a huge theme for most of the content around competitive tournaments. They aren't things that kind of live on their own. They are absolutely community events, and I feel like that's the trend most esports are going into, and kind of the world of gaming is going into. Watch parties, streaming the personal POVs. It's kind of a unique element that, digital competition brings to the world and to the viewership that is engaged in it, that traditional sports just can't really compete with. You can't sit down and, mic up and put a GoPro on the head of LeBron James every, NBA basketball game. And I think that kind of is just something that is unique to the way that we're able to do things in Apex and in esports that makes this such a special place for fans to really feel like they're in the middle of the action.
Yeah, I never really thought of that analogy, but yeah, that's very true. Like here, we've got headsets and cameras and everything on some of these players in some of these online gaming events. So it is quite different, and people do kind of connect more when they see someone else's face or talk to them every day in Twitch chat or something like that. And that's where you can really build some really wholesome and valuable communities, and that can honestly change the world in a way when you didn't really expect to in any matter. But hey, here we go with the bot squad, and it seems like they're about to get themselves into a 3v3. Eloquent Baton, I'm not sure where they want to play. Do they want to take this Ash TP? Do they want to push up? Kind of really split from their team, but they're not getting shot at all. Till now. Gonna take some damage here and shield cell up. They did get a knock, in fact, so they're going to come on up into the building. They're gonna get the knock. There are two players on the inside, so they gotta be aware here. The Ash Flesh knocked, one more to go, and there we have it. There's two thirsted. Watson's last one remaining, 20 HP. The car spray is gonna go through. One more shot. Can we get a punch here? Can we get a finisher? And Cowboy is out. We've only got 11 squads left, but the bot squad, very nice entry and very nice execution afterwards. And they're playing really well together. They've got crafting here. They have a beacon to scan. This could be their game. And they've got all this loot from the enemy. And this is Nate. Nate did really well last game, so it's going to hurt their points this game.
One of the better places to engage, North Pad. I like North Pad endings. I like fighting there. And Eloquent Baton and that squad having a good time so far, rocking their play. It will look like it'll be much more of a northern zone. We could be looking at maybe a wall finish here as well. And so Skyward dives aplenty. Most teams within the safety of the circumference of the first circle, but as it starts to close here in round 1 for about 3 minutes, they're going to realize they're well out of where it's going to end. Information is so crucial in Apex Legends. That's the name of the game. It's competitive. You can't just go out there and hope to hear footsteps to figure out where to go and who's around you. But right now, Toaster taking that 1v1. It's the brother versus sister battle. We're going to see it all day, and she even brings out the Bangalore heirloom to finish off Grand Feed. And so that is a down onto the Newcastle. Vellum doing work there. Your plug's plug. An infamous sniper engaging as well. Vladdy getting involved from Team THV. This is really, really contested here and just trying to stay alive. A Skyward dive is the last hope. And it seems like it's going to at least buy a bit of time. Two big bullets could end it, though. Oh, lucky to get away. Valkyrie will escape.
Just barely escaping that one. I mean, if they ended up pushing instead of going back into the building, they would have had it. But hey, they didn't expect Vladdy to pull off this Skyward dive, and it worked out for them. So we will be able to rat ourselves some points here. But it doesn't really look like Vladdy's making a plan to go back for those banners. I think Vladdy has come to terms that those banners are long gone. 26 seconds left. No, we're just going to find a rat spot, which there are plenty of rat spots on Storm Point. Your plug's plug going in with that heirloom double punch mid-air too. The confidence on this squad is incredible. Love to see them play this one out. As you saw on the map earlier, it's going to end towards the wall area. So, like I was talking about, maybe Gibby and Bangalore aren't going to be the most effective in this. Maybe if you're rocking a Caustic or a Watson, it's going to work out more in your favor because you're going to be able to hold those buildings a lot better. But these teams are trying to fight again.
Never a good day when you see the cold steel come out. That's your rated pilot's knife, which is Bangalore's heirloom. It's never usually a bad day when the bow check is around because, you know, that's not the weapon everyone tends to fear, but it certainly should be behind the arms of, or in front of the arms of D-Pro, Skills, and Bangalore. Wow, what play. Takes one out of the sky. Cracks one on the ground, 2 in a row, and it's going to revive a teammate with the gold bag. So that'll be the ultimate lovers back and on track. D-Pro handling business.
Evo shield here.
And this was our, I think, kill leader from our game number 1, or one of our kill leaders in our top 2. So now we've got to really witness the skill coming into this with this bow. Those shots were beautiful. Really hard to track within those smokes with the R301, but the bow really made up for that. As we move along to a Toaster, our winners of our game number 1, they're on a very late rotation. Actually, look at the whole map. Everyone's on a late rotation. It doesn't seem like anyone wants to be playing the zone. Nobody, not a single person is in that end zone.
I mean, Soul Grinder's like hanging around, like maybe, like close, but nobody is near there. It is like it's being fumigated or something, and they've been told to leave it alone for 24 hours and sleep at a hotel. I don't know what it is. But the other question is, are you late if everyone's late, or are you just on time?
Oh, true. Very true. I guess you're not that late if everyone's late.
I might think you're still late because, you know, Soul Grinder's the only one who got the invitation and stuck to the appropriate arrival time there. So shout outs to Soul Grinder. Fake Preds, a little skirmish trying to take down Braxton, excuse me, Trey, and that'll be that. Won't be the finish of Braxton and his squad though. It will be another KP onto the side of Fake Preds, Daniel, JRM, and it's Rao. Rocking the Seer. So maybe a little bit of information helped to put them in that situation. We didn't see how it started, but we certainly know how it ended. And this seems to be where the rest of the team is. Turtle of Doom running very far away. We can only imagine that unless you start running north, which they're not, you're gonna start running towards someone, and I just wonder. Now as he starts turning north, Turtles of Doom, you know, is this a safe spot to be?
Never mind.
As we head over to Net Collectors, who, not only a great name, but I think playing our only seer of the lobby.
Our only seer, really? This game?
I don't know where the other one is. This is the one I noticed so well.
Yeah.
But yeah, that's what I thought. Maybe there is another seer. There probably
No,
is.
not 100% sure. Just saw a couple more than that in the first game, but maybe not in this game. But it's all right because they're getting that rotation done. Everyone's like creeping their way into the zone and not knowing that there aren't many people in that zone. But D-Pro kind of taking the Trident up to see if it's safe, and it's not safe. The Net Collectors are going to let them know that they're there and ready to take them on. But getting up to this building, I'm not 100% sure if that one was taken. Oh, Soul Grinder's down. Got down by Daniel in the kill feed with the car. So one of our first and early rotators is already down. Maybe it's a curse.
This is why you arrive fashionably late, ladies and gentlemen. This is why it is the case, because nothing.
What? They died here?
Interesting. I bet. Interesting situation for its route, JRM. We were just talking about him. Picking up a couple of kills. Daniel on that. Had to trade out the shield. A Toaster, winner of game 1, 2 kills to their name. Rocking that cold steel. That pilot snipe, that heirloom. Let us know in the chat you're a big heirloom fan. I know a lot of us are. I definitely am. I went through a phase, let's just put it that way, where I was desperate to get every heirloom. It was a lot of fun, actually. It was very cool content to do for a time, but kind of fell off a bit. I don't even think I have Watsons at this point now, and I was surprised. I thought she even got one. I don't know. So I was a little off the loop there. But right now, Titan Scream, bigger problems than heirlooms. He's just trying to survive. Mr. Varsity with the triple take. Now switching over to the wingman, taking a little bit of damage off the defensive bombardment. Down below are the opponents. He's trying to just completely disappear off. It must be a launch pad that Trident took, but that might have been the thing that saved him.
That was a nice escape, a fashionable escape at the least. They managed to get out, but Mr. Varsity, 11 seconds for Dome, so we don't have Dome quite yet. I really like the use of the Thermite because it's kind of creating a cover for their teammates from the range, so the longbow won't be able to see what they're shooting at. That Thermite was very nice play. JRM playing the roof of this building. Route kind of on the inside, trying to take down Kurgix. They have 2 low. They should be able to push off this if they want a clean wipe. Kurgix actually ends up going down. Titan Scream goes down as well in the kill feed. But hey, we're taking a look at Toaster. Dizzy and Hams go down as well.
I think that was, yep, the exhibit that was popped by the Seer. Still alive. I'm actually not 100% confident in whether that interaction dies, if the Seer dies, or if that stays to its duration, or if it needs a player from the team for it to stay. I would imagine that it probably stays for its duration, but I'd have to double check on that. Haven't played a lot of Seer lately. He hasn't really been in the meta, but it's great to start seeing that shift. The Ultimate Lovers, they've been involved, got that 1 early kill and 2 to finish off the squad, but D-Pro is not looking like the 7 kills he had in game 1, not in the least. Now using this Trident as mobile cover, which is something really, really important to do. Creating kind of this little barricade, right? Because he's got the smokes, he's got the ability to move forward and move back, but if he starts getting shot, he's just playing around the rock, around the Tridents, and allowing himself to, even though there isn't any natural cover really to utilize, to still be effective and retreat somewhere if he needs to.
Yeah, she wants to recover that banner, but unfortunately her teammate's banner is just getting looted up, right? So even though she's outputting so much damage, she's not really going to be able to close the distance because it's It's a 1v3. It's super hard to do. And there's a respawn on that side of the map as well, but there's only 53 seconds left. So what are we going to do? Where are we going to revive? We have one banner recovered. Can we do anything with that? Maybe we could do it in the center wall, but that's quite dangerous. Fake Preds, they've already got a few eliminations this game, and they seem like they want more. Their mic goes through, but there is a bombardment, so they're not able to push. But no, they still push anyways, and that's Route getting the angles with the Volt.
Wow.
Absolutely beaming and outputting so much work for their team. So Fake Preds take down 2. They need to take down 1 more. They get the crack inside, but we need some follow-up from our teammates here. At least we don't get thirsted by the enemy, and we may be able to get a revive before a third party comes through. We get the double kick. JRM going in and gets the finish on Keegan. Nice try from Keegan and company, but unfortunately it's for them, it's Fake Preds that pick up another 3 kills. I think that's 6 kills at least this game for them. It's going to be a big game.
There you go, girl. The second, at least, that we've seen in the last few minutes. Daniel spams on the Seer, throwing the exhibit out as well. It's a really nice play from JRM and Route using the car and the Volt. How are you going to beat that close range with that type of pressure? Almost an unbeatable combination. You'd have to hit something big like a Kraber headshot, hit fire type of deal, or a Mastiff to really turn the dial back onto somebody who's attacking you with that type of SMG power. A Toaster, though, up on top. Winners of game 1. Looking a lot more dismal here. 3 kills, 5 squads left. Not a bad thing, but they didn't do the revive close enough to the door, and that will spell disaster. Your plugs, Plug, lucky to get out of here with their life, let alone with their team's life, and that certainly will be 2 in a row. Route takes your Plug down. They lose another, a solo possibly in this lobby, and then that will be 3 squads left for this game.
Yeah, really tough. Something that we haven't mentioned before, but just eyewitness right now is Route used the Horizon, the gravity lift, to go up. And some controller players aren't able to react fast enough to look up into the air. And as you saw, the Newcastle just tanked so much damage. It's really hard to kind of do anything against that if you're not expecting it. And Route did come in unexpected, did 150 damage, and kind of opened up the field for their team. So they were able to get another squad wipe. I think that's 9 kills thus far, at least, from this game, but I'm not 100% sure.
Innovation at the top of the list for Apex. We love to see it here in our PlayStation tournaments. Apex Legends Master Circuit. It's just late A1. Europe's already done with theirs. It's North America's turn. And they have not disappointed. In fact, they have raised the heat in here.
Let us take that trident.
To 11. And I cannot wait to see how this one plays out. We've got AOT on the bottom and Fake Preds holding the high ground. There's only 7 players remaining. And you can see up on that ridge to the following left side, or kind of eastern side here, you'll see actually that it's a solo player. And so it's really AOT versus Fake Preds. It's kind of a simple equation if you think traditional shooters, and that the advantage goes to the high ground, and that's true, but it depends. It depends on what openings you get and how much you commit, and also when. Right now, they've essentially done a really nice trade, but he died very, very quickly. They lost 1, and will that be enough? Fake Preds now fighting with 1.5. 1 player, no shield. Daniel Spam's coming in late. The exhibit. Hopefully exhibiting a lot of help here because they're going to need it. Fake Preds have finally found that second shield, but AOT is putting up a great fight. It's still Fake Preds who have been the true predators in this lobby. Cleaning it up, 4 kills, 5 assists to the name. There's still that solo player who is yet to run in, and will they play spoiler for Fake Preds or AOT? That's the question, or will they save it to the very end and try to do it themselves? A little hard decky moment in our futures. Well, we'll just have to wait and see. Stock's frozen right now. And AOT gets out of there, so just like that, we've got a solo and a solo versus all 3 of Fake Preds. It's an odd combination, but it certainly seems like Fake Preds will be able to clean this one up.
Yeah, it seems like they're having a lot of fun. They look like they're dancing a lot. They're spinning. They're shooting the air as much as they want. Actually, the 2 solos are on top of each other, so actually eliminating each other's first is probably the play because you get the kill and the placement. It's a 1v1 situation here. Vladdy, I think, recognizes the situation that they're in, so they're trying to look. They are able to get some shots off, but it seems like there's a bit of a lag there, and then Daniel comes in and starts stealing some kills here. So Vladdy gets knocked to Daniel. That's another kill to Fake Preds, and now they just got to track this last player down. Pokinator doing all that they can, keeping the high ground. We have a flatline and an R9, but we're just getting ambushed by all directions here, and here we go. There it is to Fake Preds taking home the W for this game. Game number 1.
Number two. Number 2. It's going by so
They're
fast.
going by so fast.
I know. We are just zooming here in North America. Well, you know, that was an interesting one because I feel that we saw 2 teams that were fully capable of fight each other, but it ended up being that no one committed to the fight and somebody tried to get out. And I think that might have been the smartest decision because ultimately it gave Pokinator an opportunity to say this: we're not going to probably win this 3v3, which means we easily just give the solo a chance to get a higher placement point than us, which is 2 points. That's a big deal. Or I can abandon this fight knowing we're not going to win this anyway 70% of the time and take a 100% chance of being able to probably get out and then have a 1v1 with that solo, which would mean a lot more to us. And let's be honest, would you rather 1v1 for second place or would you rather 1v3? Exactly. So I think everybody made the best choice that they had available to them in that moment as we take a look at what transpired over game 2.
Yep, and here we have 007 starting the match. And I do agree with you, though. Taking that situation for the 1v1 was the smarter play, and it netted them 2 extra placement points. The double hit with the heirloom from Plugs. Plugs is a kind of like a star player here, always going for those punches to finish off. Who needs a reload? Who needs a gun swap when you can just, you know, use your melee? And this moment was incredible. They were in a 2v3 situation at that point, but they never gave up. The R3 one-shots weren't hitting as well as the bow did, but hey, they did the job, and that's what really matters. Casper going in with the Hemlock, getting that knock immediately. JRM getting the wide flank with Route also kind of getting that opening, kind of going in by themselves there, but hey, they got the recovery. Plug wasn't able to get the revive here as his team got ambushed from the Horizon ult, and then this push. This push was scary as JRM went down right away. Pokinator played life there and allowed that team to completely recover. And then Fake Preds taking home the dub after pushing so many teams. And we've got 2 different winners here.
That's how it started. It's kind of how these things tend to go. 2 teams have different moments right away, and it's tough to be so consistent on a map like Storm Point. But jumping out to clear awarenesses of that these players and teams are teams to look out for: Fake Preds and a Toaster. I'm loving it. I like what we're looking at. I think this is a really fun tournament so far, and it's only going to get better. And if you guys want to pay attention to more of what we're doing in the tournament space at PlayStation Tournaments, make sure to check out compete.playstation.com. That's where you'll find all the information on our upcoming tournaments. You can sign up. You can participate in tournaments like this. You can also win cash prizes, which is great. If you are an up-and-coming gamer trying to make this a part-time job, a part-time passion, maybe show somebody that first paycheck that you did because of your competition, and maybe show it to your parents. Let them see, hey, there's an opportunity here that if I really put my all into this, I can make something at least valuable as a part of my life. And I think that is a great just gift that this tournament system is giving to a lot of players around the world. So make sure to check it out, compete.playstation.com. And while you're doing that, we're going to take a quick break. We will be back with game 3 and 4 and 5 and 6. This tournament still has so much more to give, and we're excited to be along for the ride with you. See you in a bit.
Calling all fighters. The PlayStation Tournament's FGC Arcade is back with the Summer Community Series starting this June.
Let battle commence.
Get ready for 6 weeks of scorching competition and awesome prizes across your favorite fighting games. Sign up in-game on your PS4 console or on the competition center at compete.playstation.com for your chance to win cash prizes and a round-trip ticket and competitor pass to EVO 2022. Think you're up for the challenge?
Hello, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome back. We just took a quick break from our PlayStation Tournament's Apex Legends Master Circuit, and we are here to get ready for our next game. We have gone through two, and it is, of course, myself, Rain Day, and hopefully you guys know me through casting and gaming and YouTube and all that stuff throughout the Apex Legends history. And, of course, I am joined by the illustrious girl who is so kind to not be streaming during this moment, because we know how much she puts in to being a high-level Apex Legends Predator and, of course, grinding her rank stream. So we're very excited to have you along with us, girl. It's been a fun couple of games, and we actually got to see a new team win last round. I think we have those standings coming up, but, you know, it's a great start to North America.
Yeah, it definitely is. We've seen a couple different plays, different play styles, two different teams winning. So a toaster, your plugs plug TTV Infamous Sniper, and Call Me Bot TV. Definitely make sure to check them out if they're live. And Fake Preds, It's a Route. So JRM and Daniel Spams from Fake Preds, they really dominated that second game and picked up a lot of kills.
Well, let's take a look at what that made a dent in for the overall standings, and it made enough to get involved. It was 39 points for Fake Preds here, a dominating kind of performance. A toaster earlier on, 36 points. They did a fantastic job of jumping out to an early lead. The Ultimate Lovers have been probably the most elimination-heavy team without having too many placement points, but I can't even say that because they've had the third best placement points and third best elimination. So they've been putting together a really consistent performance. And I also have to say, THV standing out to me, 10 points, 0 kills, but still only 7th in the lobby. If they just adjust, finding a couple of fights that work in their favor, this could be a team that we could see up there in the top 3 or 4.
Yeah, Vladdy did a good job staying alive as a rat there in the last game. And here are two teams that haven't been so fortunate in our last couple of games, and hopefully maybe they can find some good luck, some good loot, or maybe change up and adapt to this lobby. As we were talking about earlier today, you kind of need to adapt to the situations that are brought to you. If there's a lot of seers, maybe pick up a seer or try and figure out what counters or maybe what you're most comfortable with. But we do have 4 games left to be played out, so there are plenty of games to catch up with the point system.
Yeah, there are plenty of games. That's true. We've seen a lot of things change. Actually, in Europe, everything came down to the 6th game. We had 3, 4 different winners, and then we ended up having some repeat winners finally towards 5 and 6, and that made the narrative start to show up. And so we have all of Storm Point to be able to play today. And what does that mean? I mean, teams used to maybe adjusting more than just playing 6 games on a Storm Point map. Girl, do you think that has anything to do with some teams kind of jumping out early to a strong start and some teams kind of waddling behind, not really having their answers yet?
I mean, we did give out a survey, and I feel like a lot of players liked World's Edge over Stormpoint, and that may come later on in the season or in another PlayStation tournament. But for now, hey, you gotta adapt. This is a ranked map, right? You have lots of time to practice ranked in before the tournament, and ranked has been super sweaty. I know it isn't the easiest to play a game that's constantly 100% try hard, but hopefully we can get some control back. As Randy was saying earlier, hashtag bring control back. What was the hashtag that you were using earlier?
I don't know. I think we want control or something like
we
that.
Want control. Oh, that actually sounds a lot nicer. Hashtag we want control. Okay.
I'm a very big fan of control. It actually was great just to be able to jump into Apex and stay warm, and also just, you know, have that kind of interaction for, you know, sometimes you're busy, sometimes you're traveling around. And I know me specifically, I'm in and out of cities quite often, so it's easy to get lost in not having a long time to sit for those 4 to 10-hour play sessions that I used to grind when I was starting out covering this game. And so it's definitely become something that I really miss. So if you're listening out there, please bring it back. I think they have a plan to. I think they're going to do it. If I was a guessing man, I would say that they will. But I think they're tweaking it in a way that they can bring it back constructively. And also, we got to remember, guys, designers honestly are working at probably 3 to 6 months ahead. So what we see probably was decided upon 3 to 6 months before. So 3 months ago, they decided, let's make Control permanent. It might take 3 months or, you know, from now for it to show up. So just be patient in the process. It is all a process, a lot of things to balance, and that's why I do not ever try to condemn designers, because I know that is a hard job and there's almost no way to do it perfectly to make everyone happy.
Yeah, absolutely. It's kind of hard to think in the perspective of someone else when you haven't really done those type of jobs, right? You know, because you've met and talked to these developers and designers, but not everybody can think that far ahead and be like, hey, why is it taking so long? Actually, what is it like to be a designer or developer of a big game like this? And you said it right. But oh my goodness, we have a 3v3 here in Sino Cave. The Arcstars coming through. Soul Grinder didn't get the best game last game. I believe ended up dying out early. And here we go again with another unfortunate event as they're getting kind of pinched through. We have the pings going through, but are we scared that... Oh, we're getting picked up by our teammate. Okay, we've got a ride.
Hop in. It's a free Uber. But unfortunately...
Yep.
No way to decide if it's going to a place that you want to or not, and that's kind of the problem here. You know, you look at this engagement, and Ultimate Lovers, they start out really strong. They're a really strong skirmishing team. It feels like they kind of thrive in that chaos a little bit.
Titan Scream is just, you know, taunting and teasing this Gibby a little bit. Going around, Soul Grinder trying to get as much value out of not getting thirsted right away as possible, because knowing them, they will end up going for the revive. Oh, and look, there's Heist just...
Oh, no.
Okay, they're having a little bit of fun right here in the middle, but there goes Heist solo. Going down, and that's our first elimination. Squad wipe thus far. Oh, another one came
Spoke
from
too
across.
soon.
Yeah. The bot squad ended up picking themselves up 3 kills as well. Gunzy, Eloquent Baton. And like Bobro.
Little revive on the like Bobro. Eloquent Baton actually changing from the Newcastle in the prior 2 games into a Horizon. So didn't like what they were seeing. Interestingly enough, they did have an early skirmish. I'm not exactly sure who it was against, but it was near Barometer, I believe, in game 2, and it did not go their way. I believe that was when the Bangalore was double punching with the Cold Steel Heirloom down kind of that elevator rope shaft, and Eloquent Baton playing the Newcastle is actually the victim of that one. So switching it up to the Horizon, I am a fan. I love the mobility she provides, and I would also say that there's a unique element to difficulty inherent to what we're seeing here. With this being a PS4 all controller lobby, some elements of controller are more difficult, and one of those elements is vertically looking up and then looking back down. Obviously, that's tough in anything, even for MK, but for controller, there's kind of a unique difficulty in dealing with airborne targets that is much more of a challenge that you have to practice to get better at. And Horizon naturally kind of leans into that difficulty for a lot of players and has a natural advantage of having height and getting that high ground in these fights, which can be super crucial in winning duels or even team fight positioning.
Yeah, Yeah, exactly. Once they go up using the verticality going up into the air, I think it's harder to track up because, you know, controller players are so used to controlling left or looking from left to right, and they're not so used to looking from up to down or tracking from up to down. So it is a little bit tough, but people are going to get used to it the more they play Horizon. And Horizon kind of works in the opposite effect, where if you're playing Horizon a lot, you're shooting from top to bottom instead of bottom to top. So they will be getting that practice here in the tournament today. D-Pro going down. D-Pro going down. Odd to see D-Pro going down so early in this match. It's not something we're used to seeing because D-Pro really likes to get kills in their past games.
That is very true. A little longbow action from above. You gotta be careful. Lyco Bro takes the 55, but that's about all he wants to take. Eloquent Baton working their way up. This is the benefit of the Horizon, right? Because you have the gravity lift to follow up and do a 3-man push. And with these 3 players specifically, and these 3 legends, it is so effective because you have a Bloodhound scan as well off the drop. There's just immense amounts of pressure as a unit you can apply, and that's an instant gravity cannon. Probably not going to chase it, but at least just warn them off. Say, this is our land, this is our spot. Do not try to do it. And luckily, they turned back around right on time because they realized there's a Trident running behind them too that they throw a couple of shots at. So they've cleared out the way. They've still got a Trident. They've got crafting ready to go, a couple extra shield batteries, and the Lobo ultimate that's been left over. So they will be good and looted heading into our final zones.
Yep, and here on the other side of the map, we've got fake Reds, or previous winners, and they aren't too far away from the end zone. As you can see from the map earlier, it might be a high point ending from what I saw, so they're not too far away. They're opting to go with the R31, which seems to be our comfort gun for the most part in these tournaments, or honestly in general. It's kind of the gun that I've seen people craft the most. I haven't seen much Rampage at all this season. Like seriously at all this season in my games, but I did see it in our tournament earlier today, which was very surprising because not many people opt to craft the Rampage. And honestly, it might be because of inventory management. Hey, we don't have backpacks, we won't be able to craft, or we won't be able to find all these thermites, and if no one else runs Rampage, then no one else is really carrying thermites, so I don't really know.
It is a really interesting dynamic because it is such a staple weapon for so long in that last season, and it took a while to get into that status. So a lot of these things don't necessarily fall on and off so quickly. That is the nature of the economy of Apex Legends, and we will start to see these things shake out over the course of the next couple of months. There's been a bit of a hiatus too. I mean, I think there was a big lead up into probably, I would say, April and mid-April, late April, and then there's been a little bit of a more of a break, I'd say. People kind of resetting, figuring things out. Obviously, a new season comes out about a month ago, and that allows even more changes to happen. So no one really rushing too hard to get it all figured out too soon because there are still new elements to consider during that time. And it's definitely helped to keep things fresh, but also keep things very questionable as far as how they will end up. No one quite knows just yet, but we do know that is a Rolling Thunder heading towards the bot spot, so they're gonna have to make a call here already. Lyco Bro is in trouble.
Yeah, but was able to manage to pop that battery. Now we need a potential med kit. Very nice portal, even though it's so short. It did get the Bloodhound out of harm's way for the time being. Playing the height of this, you're going to be able to hold off that other team, but getting damage like that is not what we're looking to see from Eloquent. We do have gold, so we will be able to heal up fast, but it doesn't seem like they're going to be able to push unless they have that Bangalore ulti to utilize to close the distance. But it doesn't seem like it's a fight they want to take. This area here is really hard to push. And they end up walking away. They're going to rotate off into the zone. Infamous Sniper immediately taking height, and that's something I really like to see, just so you can kind of scout the area, make sure you're not walking onto another team. I believe I saw a trade there, maybe ratting on the left side, but this team doesn't have a seer, so they won't be able to scan for any rats in the meantime, as they loot up in cascades and slowly make their way into the end zone. As we were talking about earlier, High Point, it is pulling north of Thunderwatch, maybe into High Point or maybe into the open field. But as we all know, it doesn't tend to end on the Prowler nests, so it won't end directly on that. Fake Preds getting into a fight, route, taking down Varsity. I believe Varsity's on Gibby, so they get the initial knock. Route kind of taking some damage from this bombardment, but is going to be able to heal back up. JRM looking around. Daniel also looking around. They seem to be able to get the kill quite cleanly, and I think Overshot kind of makes it out of that fight alive. So they will be able to play for some placement. A Toaster playing the height. They were our winners of our game number 1. The Arcstar is going to come through. We did spot someone on the low ground, so we're going to smoke to clear off our left side. We're going to push to get the knock as well, but Plugs actually ends up going down. Now they're in a 2v2 situation. No, a 1v2. They know where the Wraith is. They're going to chase from both sides, kind of corner and pinch the Wraith together, and there we go. Little Kevo, Gunzi end up going down, and then we get the Newcastle res with the passive, being able to move Bangalore into a safe space inside. Perfect and well executed. I really liked this smoke. If I want, I'll just say really one more time, like the smoke from the left side as Plugs pushed, because that it made it so that they couldn't get shot from the left, and it's kind of like a little wall in itself, and I really admire the thought and the push from Plugs.
It was a great demonstration of what this team can do. A Toaster already winning one, and some great calls there, not just with the smokes, but with a lot of the decision making. Can't quite say the same here for Nate. He falls down. Net Collectors looking to find a couple of kills, but now they're under pressure as well. Hams fakes, Kurjik so dizzy. They've abandoned the Seer too. Everyone kind of opting for the big change in game 3, just to get something on the board, something more comfortable and more lethal towards end game, and I don't blame them.
And here we have them kind of pushing up, utilizing these rocks for cover. They should be able to play this safely for now, but it looks like they're scared that they're getting pushed. They're not 100% sure. It looks like they might even want a skyward dive out of here. They're testing the waters to see where they can get it off from, but will they get shot as they pull this through? Nope, they actually ended up making it. So very lucky the other team didn't see them in time, and they're gonna try and opt for high ground. This is a really good rotation coming in from them. If they're able to play on Prowler's Nest, that would be ideal if the zone ends up pushing towards them, but there's a big fight kind of ensuing here. The hip fire mid-air, getting that knock on Deep Pro. Oh, that's Deep Pro again, so Deep Pro actually ended up getting revived, but just so that Deep Pro could give Fake Preds another kill, it seems, and they are gonna get the thirst here on this hill. It's a really hard hill to kind of fight, but utilizing the horizon here has been very efficient for them.
I mean, think about trying to climb Mount Everest, and then think about trying to have a firefight while you're doing it. I mean, that hill is so high. The elevation in this map is unbelievable, and it is so devastating when you are on the wrong side of it. So teams have to have a plan in place well before they get to this position. It's just not winnable. It's just too hard. Brackton Trey, Timber Boogaroo getting chased down by a Toaster and the charge rifle. I have not seen much of this today. It's probably the first charge rifle I've seen. And I'm surprised because it's so effective at long range, and especially being the only hit-scan weapon in the game. There's a lot of rotations above, too. That charge rifle is going to have a lot of impact in these fights, and whether it's a third party or picking a few things up, you got to watch out, and you have to play kind of around it now. And so that's another threat. Just little ways to get space for your team without actually having to take too much space yourself physically. It's those shots, it's the presence of the rifle. That's what's making decisions for other players on whether they want to push, where they want to hold, and where they feel comfortable.
And D-Pro gets revived for the second time this game, so that's really nice to see. But another team is pulling up on them, and hopefully they don't get shot in their back as they're walking up. Try to get in the Trident, and they are going to boost their way up the hill. And they may even opt to gatekeep this team underneath them. Oh, and they do even have an armor swap, so this really puts them at the advantage. The other thing on the other hand is teams could come from each choke from behind them, so they do have to be careful and aware of that. But Plug's Plug, they know they have to get into the zone because the zone is going to hurt, so they're going to walk up and see what they can do.
Anycon on the 30-30, one of girls' favorites and one of mine as well. 3 times. Sending D-Pro down below to go scout. Initially creating so much space. The smoke just to force him out of that engagement. There's so much here to play off, but Anycon not really capitalizing on the shots. Call Me Bot TV will find the first down on the Tim Boogaroo, which is the one who was farthest into the orange. And that's a nice headshot there. Finally, Anycon picks one up, and that's your Plug's Plug. It's another one going down to the zone, and the Ultimate Lovers just staying with this. They know there are kills in front of them, and they're not going to give them up just now. It's Infamous Sniper that will fall. That will be a team wipe down. It'll be Anycon going to pick up D-Pro, who has fallen to the zone, but they've gotten a lot out of that interchange and will be walking up alone towards the face of that hill.
And I'm wondering if they got D-Pro up or if D-Pro ended up dying to the storm. Kind of close there. Maybe with the gold bag, they could have had that. But here we are on the height. Fake Preds does spot another team. Oh, yep, they did get D-Pro up. So D-Pro and company will be able to make it into the zone from the low ground. And above them, they've got 2 squads. And just outside of this tunnel, there's Flotty and company kind of just gatekeeping or camping outside.
4 squads left, 6 kills, the names of Daniel Spams at the very minimum for that of JRM and its route. Oh, you can see these rotations here. Skyward Dive is going to bring AOT towards where the zone is going to end. So they're kind of preempting where they're going to want to play, but it's a high ground, low ground situation divided by this huge rock. And so, do you stay up top, or do you try to go towards the low ground where it might ultimately end, knowing that if it doesn't end, you're going to get shot all the way up until then? You may not have time to hold that position at the very end. You might not make it there. The Ultimate Lovers have the Crypto drone out, and EMP is coming through. You know D-Pro's off it, and it's a Rolling Thunder as well. He'll get hit by that, but it's definitely going to pick up a couple kills. Look at the efficiency. 1 drops Vellum. Vladdy drops as well. JRM knows there's only 1 left, and they're searching for it. Anycon back onto the Trident. It's off to the races. Another Rolling Thunder, but it's not D-Pro's this time, so he's going to slide onto the rock and take a bit of damage while they have a moment. The damage truly has been done there. Digital threat onto the longbow from Titan Scream and the Ultimate Lovers. Just trying to apply, and I think it's route up there that maybe would have survived. But there's still so much to do. They know they are close, but they don't want to risk it. They've done a lot, and they're in a decent position, girl. I don't blame them here. They're just going to Loba Ultimate, see what they can find, get up full, and this is going to give them an even bigger advantage over the rest of the teams in the lobby.
Yeah, the only thing is that they've had a team above them, so getting into that zone is going to be the trickiest part. But, oh, no, the team above them decided to take the other way in, so they've decided to maintain that high ground and play on the other side of this mountain. So each team will likely be able to make it into the next zone safely. Nobody wants to fight just yet because they don't want to get third party. Now this is where the fights are going to start slowing down unless you find a rat. If you find a rat, that rat might end up dying. Oh, but this is AOT, Night Slayer going down to JRM. Why are they so split up here? We've got the Seer scanning around to see if we can get a knock. We're gonna walk up on this. But Vladdy and Grand kind of under a lot of pressure. Grand going down. Vladdy, the last one remaining on their team.
Oh.
And we get the knock with the car mid-air. That's a hard...
Oh!
On the last shot with the car! D-Pro ends up connecting, and that's why D-Pro has one of the most kills in the game. Wow, on the last shot. What a connection there.
Add it to the tally. Add it to the highlight reel. Send it out. Another one. You cannot escape. Great stuff from D-Pro. The relentless, aggressive nature. This team is showing up like they want to win this tournament. And that's sometimes the energy that you need to exude as an Apex Legends competitive team that is going to win. You have to see that it's going to happen from your own lens, and you have to make other people believe it with the way that you're playing. Your teammates have to believe it. I certainly would if I was on the side of Inican and D-Pro and those guys during this one, because it has been an absolute rout. But Fake Preds have also been filling big shoes after the couple of big games they've already had. Daniel Spam's on the Seer. He's on 7 kills. Route, he's on 3. JRM has to be on at least a couple. This is a massive game from them, and they're actually in probably the prime position as of now to get the first shot onto somebody.
They have the only real estate in the zone, as there's only one building barely inside of it. But if everyone survives this, then it's honestly up to anyone to end up winning this out. Does Night Slayer even have any arm? Okay, the armors are dropped because there is a crypto in the game and they do not want to lose their meds. But is it worth it at this point, especially if you have maybe 6 shield batteries total between the two of you? I'm not 100% sure. Maybe they're scared of getting pushed, but it doesn't seem like they'll be getting pushed as of yet, as the other two teams are kind of focused on one another. Fake Preds getting thermited. The scan goes through, does not connect on anyone just yet. Oh, we do see them. They're actually pushing up. So the ultimate's gonna come out here as Daniel tries to get angles, but is playing very safe. The EMP comes through. We're getting some cracks. Oh my goodness, AOT's getting some back shots on D-Pro and Anakin.
And that is going to be trouble as well. Fake Preds know that it's time to move in. AOT's still on the height. Daniel Spams has to go for it, but the patience might just be winning the game in the long run. There's so many ultimates being used. None of them onto Fake Preds or pressuring them whatsoever. That's got to be a good sign. JRM holding the outside angle, and that's going to force AOT to move forward. Seems like everyone is looking at AOT, and that's a problem for them. It's just, what does AOT do? They've got to slide. They're going to isolate and try to 2v1 D-Pro. Can D-Pro hang on? AOT Night Slayer still alive? No, he's down. That's D-Pro. He takes 1. Don't tell me he's going to 2v1 here. I know he's in the smoke. That's where Bangalore lives. No, Daniel Spams will find D-Pro there. And it's Alliance of Torment. Fake Preds will win as they take down all who stand in their way in the end zone.
What an ending. They were actually the team getting pushed and pressured, but ended up staying alive. Daniel utilizing that ultimate to be like, hey, get off of me. And then AOT taking advantage of that and targeting them, the other team, in the back to relieve pressure on them. Was it a gifted win? Did they deserve the win? No, of course they deserved the win. They played incredibly well there at the end.
Yeah, it was a really strong performance. I think Fake Preds had a lot going for them, and you know, the pressure wasn't on them. You know, that position that they were able to be in that final circle, AOT, I think, felt like they knew they had to move, and there was nowhere really easy to go without getting shot. And I think that forced mentally them to try to take a fight that wasn't in their favor to win the game, but in their favor to try to get as much as they could. And that ultimately leads to the team that is just able to sit and react without pressure to win that one. And that's where the Toaster started. They were actually quite a good team. They lose 1 here, but they handled it and got themselves back up alive. But it was Fake Preds with an uphill climb in so many ways, but the Horizon got them through it, and got them through it very, very well.
And that was D-Pro's second death of the game, but D-Pro consistently gets revived by their teammates. So very big shout out to their teammates for constantly getting D-Pro back up. Oh, the collab with the Kraber from D-Pro, showing how incredibly skilled and talented they are. And then take a look at this here on the last shot. We see it.
Mama!
Oh no!
Oh no, look what I've done. It was definitely one of those moments that just makes you yell. Exciting stuff from them. And Fake Breads, Daniel Spams, just cleaning it up. It was good stuff from D-Pro. Definitely did his best, but Fake Breads just had the angles and they had the time. And that's Fake Breads winning not one, but 2 in a row. Wow.
Now, we saw earlier today that most teams managed to be able to get 1 or 2 wins, but then it was our game winners that actually ended up getting 3 wins. So maybe if Fake Preds pick up another win, this could be secured for them and they pick up their cash prize here at the end of the day. But for now, it's not over. We're only halfway through. 63 points going to Fake Preds with Daniel, Rout, and JRM. They're doing incredibly well. Coming in second is a Toaster. They got our first win. They got the momentum in the beginning at 45 points. They're 10 eliminations under our first place team. That's how aggressive Fake Preds have become. And the Ultimate Lovers at 38 points. 007 at 21. And Team THV at 15 points with 5th place, but this still can be anyone's game as long as they start getting wins starting our next game.
Yeah, starting now is really the key.
Starting now.
All seeing eye, well, there's a lot that's going to have to happen there. I'm not saying that it can't, but Heist, Fight, and Soul Grind are going to have to pick it up. We're going to have to see probably 3 30-plus games in a row in order to really match where these teams are headed, because that may not even be enough. 65 after 3 for Fake Preds. That's like a 130-point game. That's one of the higher point scorings we will ever see in any Apex Legends competitive tournament. So we've got a lot happening here that I think is a really, really powerful showcase of how good these squads are playing. And I just love the uniqueness of it. And I love that we're getting to highlight names and players who have not been highlighted before, and that's because of the PlayStation Tournament's Apex Legends Masters Circuit. If you want to find out more about this and if you want to be involved, check out compete.playstation.com. This is all the information you need to be able to access this well, but also check out all the other live upcoming events that we've got going on for PlayStation tournaments, whether it's fighting games and the Summer Arcade series that we've got going on with the FGC and Mortal Kombat, Tekken, Street Fighter, but we've also got more Apex Legends Slay Days on the way that you could participate in. So compete.playstation.com, that's where you'll find all that good stuff. Girl, it's been after 3. Fake Preds off to the races. I know we just saw it. But Game 4, something's got to change. And we saw actually a lot of lineup changes in Game 3. We saw people go away from Seer, and we actually saw another adjustment. I'm not actually quite sure what it was, but I remember noticing about 2 to 3 adjustments that were going on with these teams. Clearly, the idea is in their mind that they've got to pick up the pace. But no one's been able to stop Fake Pred and these high-performing teams from doing just that, performing so well that the rest of the teams are almost falling by the wayside.
Yes, really a lot of pressure for the teams that are kind of behind in the moment right now, because they're like, hey, we need to find a composition so that we can kind of catch up on kills, but also we need to find a composition where we can go end zone and end up winning the game. So you kind of got to pick what kind of play style you want, not only for today, but throughout the tournament series and for the finals as well, and see what kind of works for you and your squad. So you constantly want to be learning, adjusting, adapting, but don't just think of the short term, think of the long term as well. So whatever comp you want to run with, figure it out today, and then maybe for the next week you could try the full day with that same comp and see if it really works out so you could do really well in the finals.
There's so much on the line. And really, it's not even about the money today. It's not even about the grand finals. It's about you're in a chance to make a name for yourself in the community in a way that is more important than people realize. I know as a streamer, sometimes getting that first 10, 20, 30, 40 viewers into your stream, that's the difference because everybody starts at 0. It's hard to separate yourself at 1 viewer. 2 viewers is tough too. And even if you get up to 7 or 10, you're doing well. You're starting to make that incision into the community. But I think if you can have a pop-off day, I keep thinking of Sarah from EU and her loading up a stream right now, getting the blast that would be. I could see 30, 40 people in there from scratch, and that could be the difference in starting something that might be a career. So there's a lot of stakes on performing well here in many different ways for players.
That's absolutely true. You could become a competitive player and compete in ALGS, or you can become a content creator, maybe post some videos on YouTube or start up a live stream, as Rende said, and get yourself maybe a Twitch career or a YouTube live career or a Facebook gaming live career, whatever suits you and whatever platform that you prefer, you choose. So definitely do the research and maybe ask some friends for advice, but it's definitely a possibility. Or you could keep this as your passion, compete in these weekly tournaments, and just pick up the pizza money or be able to pay off, your groceries for that week. So it's really honestly up to you. Some people are really good at things but choose not to do them career-wise, and some people are like, oh, why? And it's because they want to just truly keep them as for fun, for passion, keep it light. And some people are like, hey, I'm really good at this. I want to do this for a living. I want to do this 24/7. And so like to each their own, right?
I think that's a great point. Some people are extremely good at stuff like this, and they just decide this isn't my career. I don't want to make money off of this. It reminds me back in the day coming from soccer, where after I got drafted, I realized the amount of money I was going to be offered to be a part of DC United, and I just felt that for what I had to give up and what soccer meant to me, I didn't want to work for that. With the way I felt about the sport was like how I came alive. It was a way that I could be in a full moment of expression, right? And that elation, the highs, the lows. But for a job, it felt like it was kind of a very hard thing for me to get into. And that sometimes is the right choice. And so we mention these things as opportunities. I think it's more of a unique thing, too, because a lot of younger players will ask, how do I do this? And they don't really know how. If you want to do this and you don't know how, this is a great way to start, because just starting with something is so much better than starting with absolutely nothing, especially when it comes to streaming, where it's very hard to organically, unlike YouTube, put a video out there and have it randomly generate to a bunch of different people. Streaming is about who's showing up for you because they kind of know you and have found you. So definitely some really good lessons there for all of our up-and-coming streamers. But there's still more games to play. We've got Game 4 loading up very soon. We're talking a little bit as the game gets loaded up and bringing up some topics, of course. And now it's time to jump into Stormpoint for the 4th time in this North American lobby. For the 10th time today, for those who've been watching all of us, I know you're getting used to Stormpoint. I always love this because, it's great to take a little break and come back and kind of get back on the casting horse in some ways, girl, and really just kind of get back into the rhythm of it. I know it's always fun when we're able to do this.
It sure is. It's always nice to kind of pick up a couple of different things. For me, a little bit out of my comfort zone, but not really, because I play the game so much, right? And I've casted with you guys for a year, so I had really good practice doing so. But honestly, love to be here. I like the vibes. I love casting with you, and honestly, we should get some games together again. I won't be able to steal your turbochargers as I used to, but Did you contact the devs because of me to fix that?
There's definitely a lot that happened in our history, girl. You know, the first time I did ever play with you, you did steal my turbocharger. I'm surprised I got over that because that was, you know, a very hurtful thing that I experienced, and I cried at night. I couldn't sleep. I couldn't sleep that night, girl. And I wrote a letter. I wrote a letter to you that I never sent. That was very strongly worded. But I decided against it, you know, because you're part of the community, and we don't treat the community like that. Okay, we don't steal each other's turbochargers. But we do have a good time, and we do move forward, and that's the thing that I think everyone has to take away from our funny conversation there that has a lot of truth to it, however. But to the game, which is Game 4, you got to go with the punches. A lot of these teams have potential. They've done well. They've gone into these zones with possibilities to win. They just haven't done it, and Fake Preds is taking advantage of every single moment, and it's partly because they're being the aggressors.
Rain Day, let's play Guess the Zone.
Okay,
where do you think it will end? My guess is north of checkpoint on those buildings. What's your guess?
My guess is... All right, my guess is actually a little bit above Cenote Cave. A little bit.
A chance. Oh, I'm right. Oh, I'm right.
Wow. I mean, once you took that, what was I going to do? I had to do something different.
You could have done Cascade or below checkpoint.
That's true.
North of Cenote Cave, that's stretching it.
Well, you know, I had to go for the long shot. If you're not going to take the easy swing at bat, then I think you go for the big win. And that's just the way it's going to go. Girl was right. That's why we have her on broadcast. Giving you all the deets. She's like a fortune teller. Checkpoint a little bit north, where our game is most likely going to end. With 11 squads hopping in this time around. And it's bad news. Kellifer on the Ash, really the only Ash of the day. Haven't seen much use of it. Feels like it's a tough legend to play at this level for whatever reason. And the Ultimate Lover's dropping in with only 2. So that is also a bit of a storyline there. One of the teams that has been our highest kills team and our highest impact team in the final zones now only has 2. So far, this will open the door for Fake Preds to continue what they've been doing.
They do have a bow and a long bow. So, I don't know if they're trying to bait them to come out so that they can get some knocks as they walk in the open, but here we go with the 47 hit. Are these no-res that I'm seeing? Because I feel like I'm hearing them hit, but I'm not seeing them hit, as Anakin putting out some great shots. And I'm wondering, why are they so aggressive? The game just begun and they're down a player. Rain Day, what's going on?
I think they're all inning, and I think that's the way it is. I mean, I think they feel very confident in their skills. Deep Pro on the Bocek bow. This man hasn't missed a lot. And I do want to say that the gold shield is going to help, especially in early game engagements. Bocek hits 1. Almost hits the second. Not quite a down, but a high 5 on the 5-burst Prowler to say hello around the corner. And now the teammate coming in might as well be an even fight at the very least. Missile Swarm. Oh, and a really good spray as well. And that's just going to force Deep Pro to do a nice little quick burst, change areas, and use the Trident as cover. Nice individual play. Running out of shield cells, though, but the syringe, as well as the one that he's got now, should allow Deep Pro to stay alive. And Anakin haven't spotted the crypto quite yet, but if an EMP gets ready, there could be a problem. And look at this. Deep Pro just absolutely playing games with him, keeping these fresh. There's the EMP. No Rolling Thunder yet. The Bocek bow. It's going to hit into the mobile shield from the Newcastle, but still somehow these 2 players are taking advantage of this 3-player squad, forcing them to retreat. What am I looking at here? This is a 2-player masterclass from Deep Pro and Anakin.
I love to see these 2 work together, but I feel like Anakin could have potentially walked up after D-Pro got the first knock to potentially help. And why haven't they used the Rolling Thunder yet? I want to see the Rolling Thunder being used. Okay, let's see if we can get that shot.
Got one.
The shot on
Oh, wow.
but now it's back to a 2v2 situation here. Rolling Thunder should come out shortly, hopefully before D-Pro ends up going down, and there it is. It's going down as Anakin. What are we gonna do? Are we gonna save D-Pro or are we gonna push? It looks like we're gonna push here, and we have the angles here. We get one crack, but they don't get the renock, I don't believe. About 50 damage. We need 50 more. 150 more, actually. We gotta get out of here. We're just way too low, and we have no meds. If they had meds, I think they would have been able to do it. Wait, D-Pro is on the other side of the map with the other trident. This is crazy.
Don't you ever tell D-Pro what he can and can't do. This player knows exactly what they want, and just to another canister. Is he going to craft a shield battery in the middle of all of this?
No way.
Are you actually serious? The audacity to leave yourself vulnerable in the middle of this 3v2 fight that you were the 2 in, just to pick up a shield battery. But I also wonder, why would you do that? You need shield cells right now. Open that pill. That's what you need with that gold shield on. And you definitely don't want to waste the battery. The Bocek bow, pretty ammo efficient, but he's only got one. But that headshot might be enough. It's time to go high five. Hello. Goodbye. That's one. Looking for the finish. Caught in the smoke. Through the fire and the flames. D-Pro gets in with a big PK shot. It's up to Inican. This fight's going to end some way or the other. Inican's got to go for it. Mobile shield. It's going to buy time for the Newcastle. Inican's got to push. The PK is too tough. And now he's going to leave. It means D-Pro is down. It means Inican is going to have to pull off some heroics here or find something really, really special. And yet, the fight goes on.
We're going to be able to get the recovery with the drone later on. This was the most entertaining 2v3 I think I've ever witnessed in my entire life. And I've been playing Apex for 3 years. Oh my goodness. That was something to watch for sure. And D-Pro, can I borrow some of that confidence? I actually am thinking of taking some classes here because that was a master class in itself from these two.
Confidence indeed. That is the greatest way to describe what D-Pro demonstrated here, as well as Inican. And it felt almost as if D-Pro was the one ushering Inican forward and Inican playing support in that role. And as the Crypto and the Bangalore, absolutely how it should be. But you can't help but say, was there a moment that if they both committed the same way D-Pro committed, they actually could have won that? Certainly with the down. Certainly Rolling Thunders could have come out earlier. But we'll have to wait and see. Please keep us updated on the saga if D-Pro does come back into the game after that banner. But right now, we'll follow along with It's Bad News.
Oh, they're going to 3-2-1 the player on the roof here. So they might be able to get the initial knock. With the Ash TP, they're going to be able to follow up immediately after. Or are they sneaking up on the building? Oh, they're not even going to 3-2-1.
I liked your idea, though. Team firing. Not many people know even what that is, girl.
Oh, really? All right, let's educate the folks at home. 3-2-1ing is when you all aim at the same target, but you don't shoot before your teammates shoot. So you're like 3, 2, 1, and then, hey, everyone shoots. The player's downed immediately. They don't have time to even move. And then they cry to their team that they got 3-2-1, and their team's going to have to end up 2v3ing the situation. So they opted not to do that. Oh, that whole team ended up ratting inside the building. But if they can get up in the building, a few grenades in there, they're taking it slow. They're taking this is hype in itself, eh? Like 5 minutes to get into this one building. It's kind of like a movie here where you're trying to get in to steal the queen's crown or something. I don't really know what they're trying to do, but hey, they're taking it easy.
They're taking it real slow, not trying to trip any invisible red wires or, lasers. And, they've got a shimmy on their stomachs underneath all of the alarm systems. I definitely think this is a very cautious team, to say the least. I'm not sure where they are in the standings either as well, because I think It's Bad News is playing like this is it. This is that moment. And that's kind of what we were actually saying to start. So it's funny, but they know we've got 3 games. If they really think they can win, and sometimes that mentality doesn't go along with a score that's in the bottom half of a lobby after 3 games, but if it really is, this is the way you got to treat everything like it's important, like it's that final moment, that final countdown. So I can't really blame them. Suru V8 is going to lose Keegan, and After Die is going to slide down as Starboy holds a couple of angles. Really the main angle, just trying to support After Die, because the enemies are on the rock above them. And so as the revive comes through, the 301 from Starboy is gonna have to be true. It is, it's gonna knock one. And that's Inican. Oh no! Does that mean D-Pro is up there? Because Inican, I don't think died, and it could be the smokes of D-Pro yet again. Playing, not quite spoiler, but annoyer to another 3-man full squad.
Yeah, so ultimately it is a 2 versus 3 situation. If they got the revive, it would potentially be a 2v3. They are getting the revive, and last Starboy is going to go in by themselves here. Can they get the re-knock, or will they end up dying for free here? D-Pro's already on the height? Oh my goodness, that was really quick. Where's Anakin, though? Gone? Dead?
Gone.
Dead.
Back to spectator.
Yeah.
Well, with the
there's
Mozambique and
Anakin
hammer
right there.
points, you know, I wouldn't put it past D-Pro to have an opportunity. Certainly a great individual talent. There's no doubt about it. D-Pro has done quite a lot as an individual, and it's not just the ability to hit shots and to play. It's very crafty, the way that D-Pro has approached this game. And with only 2, I would expect a lot of teams to have tried much less in terms of, and given much less effort than what we've seen D-Pro give. This is called taking advantage of your moment, no matter what it looks like.
Last second, we got it! And we've only got 3 syringes left, so we're gonna have to make it in the zone. It's okay. Oh no, they flew in right on D-Pro. They didn't want D-Pro back alive. D-Pro's gonna try running into the storm, but isn't gonna make it with 1 HP left. That is that. Whether they die, they are 3-1 or the zone, they are dead. And that's Suru V8 taking advantage of this duo and not allowing them to rest, because they know how pesky that duo can be later on. So actually a very smart move to kind of camp them and make sure that they don't get the revive.
How crazy. How crazy. Just unbelievable. The journey we saw D-Pro and Inican go on. And I am here for it. 8 squads left, though. It's bad news. We've been watching their journey. They finally found a spot to purge. And as a Watson team, they are playing this a little slower, so that's the intention of the lineup. Tim Bugaroo, we saw on Thunder Clutch and Turtles of Doom play against the zone. This team's still rotating within the zone, and possibly a part of their strategy. Possibly just unlucky, but this is what happens when you kind of rotate edge. And one of the things we used to see in Apex within your rotating edge is to use a Gibraltar for those kind of edge fights, because you're not getting into the zone earlier. You're not finding buildings or places that have natural cover. You're playing the zone at your back, so there's a sense of cover there, but everything in front of you could still be gatekeeping you or dangerous, so you need a pause. You need a oh no button, and typically that's where the Gibraltar comes into play, but this lineup doesn't really provide that, and it's definitely one that has been causing them trouble. I wouldn't say Thunder Clutch have been having a lot of success just yet, but there's always time to turn it around.
I'm wondering if Timbu wanted to grab that banner, but no, Timbu's going to reconvene with Turtles of Doom, and they're going to play this out as a duo. Not too far away from the end zone, but there is a couple teams there on the armory that they can take a look at. We've seen the bow do a lot of work. The headshot does 80 damage or so, oh, look at that. JRM's down to 20 HP. Route's not looking so good either. This is a hard fight, and oh my goodness, little Kevo coming in with the clutch. Batteries coming through. Can we get a revive, or are we going to get pushed by this duo? This would be a great time for them to push in, especially with the Bloodhound scans, but the Bloodhound scan didn't hit.
No.
Oh no.
Just out of range, huh?
Yep.
Well, they've got the information that there's still
They're
somebody
getting
there.
the revive off. Oh
but
my
they don't
goodness.
know that.
And no, only we know that.
And so Gunsy, Gunsy is going to hide behind that rock and find some healing, if possible. That'll make this fight a lot tougher for Tim Boogaroo and Turtles of Doom if they did want to approach, and that's a Phoenix kit. Lil Kevo Bro doing a very good job. They're still a bit isolated. Skyward Dive could make this interesting. They're going to spot Gunsy rotating a little bit ahead of Little Kevo Bro, but I think they're just going to bypass all of that and try to find a spot to nest. But there is not a lot of spots here this late in the game with 6 squads left. They know a care package is coming in. They can play the inner channels of this north pad. Or kind of pad-like area with these inner holes where they can hide, crouch, come back up, or have even their own fights down there. And hopefully they'll be able to get something out of that care package that can help turn the tide later on.
And here we go. We're trying to go down, but this team might end up shooting us in the back. They're missing their shots, though, so Tim Boogaroo. Oh, no. Almost made it. But are they really going to jump down from checkpoint to come in and thirst this kill? Well, we're about to find out in about 4 seconds. If they don't come in 4 seconds, they might not come at all. The Arcstar is not going to connect because they're going to be able to get away from that. Tim Boogaroo might actually end up being able to heal. They are coming down, though. Vladdy, you can see, and Grand do end up pushing down, so this might be a 2v2 situation. Timbu still full armor at the least. Turtles, I don't know why Turtles is the one getting targeted. Oh, and there we go. Timbu goes down as well, so not looking great for them. And this care package is still untouched.
THV taking the high zip to checkpoint, looking down on North Pad. Over to the right, 2 teams kind of vying, jostling for position around that care package. We don't know what's in it yet. You know THV has the high ground for now, but 53 seconds from now, they won't. They'll have to move in. Curious as to why they've stayed here. Maybe because the 2 teams lurking on the right, they're hoping we'll fight it out, and they'll just figure out who wins. They'll only have to third party this, and it seems like that's actually what's happening. Lil Kevo Bro and Bot Squad jumping in on the infamous sniper. That's one. That looks to be another one. Flux Plug TV goes down. It's just one more. It's the Newcastle. And you can see, even though that castle wall was made, it is not going to hide the efforts of Lil Kevo Bro trying to seek. You know, however, what will be the support factor there is THV up on top. They start poking, and the bot squad realizes we have gotten everything we need from this engagement. A couple of downs. We do not need to expose ourselves anymore with only 4 squads left. This is our game to win. They've just got to clear their backside, and THV has yet to come down from the mountain.
Yeah, they put in so much effort already that, hey, okay, we've got so many kills. I feel like top 4 has been the sweet spot.
Yeah.
For teams to be like, hey, let's chill out. Let's not completely W key and end our efforts by getting third-partied. So that's, I guess, why THV felt comfortable landing in the same building as another team, because the Watson team doesn't seem to be wanting to aggress on top of them. But Suru, they've also been doing well, and they're actually going to get into a 3v3 situation. The repeater's not great for shooting at a horizon right now. The flatline is doing great damage, though, and gets a knock, and Eloquent also gets knocked down. So it's a 3v1 situation, and hey, they cleaned it up while all still remaining to stay alive, and they're not getting third-partied as the other 2 teams are still in the building.
Yeah, they love that building. Safety and walls. But the walls aren't so safe once they get breached. They've got to remember that this is one way to do it. But did they just miss an opportunity for some strong KP?
Yeah, one of them did.
One of them did. And then one of them would have had the chance to say, are we going to now, from this position, go fight the team in the building? Or is that team going to have to come out and fight us? And the reason that they didn't push, it seems like, is because the team in the building is not going to have to leave. That circle is basically going to end there. Oh, but
Someone
you're right.
got a Kraber shot.
THV. So they ended up finding that care package, it seems like, or at least picking up a team in the fight that did get that.
Let's scope this quadrant out here.
And they've already gotten it down with it.
Did you notice that Vladdy was playing Fuse?
I did not. That's a great point. Incredible. Haven't seen Motherload used at all. So the big circle of fire that Fuse has as his ultimate, that has been kind of always tweaked and kind of a sore spot for a lot of players. Good, but kind of not good in terms of the efficacy, and really needs something else to follow up with. Not been on showcase so far today. Hard to do it in a building, but certainly the Knuckle Cluster, the kind of bread and butter of Fuse's kit. Just lasts for so long, does great poke damage. That will be on display here in this final circle for sure from Vladdy. And I like it.
Keegan's looking for another Kraber shot, but it seems like this is just gonna go down to the very final circle as no one seems to want to push. This is where you really can't fight, otherwise you're just going to lose or get second place with some kills. Second place with some kills is kind of like almost the same as first place, you know, because you get the kill points and
100%.
you get the placement points. So second place with the kills is better than third place with no kills.
Absolutely, and I think that's always the trade-off you have to decide. But in these situations, you gotta go for first. You have to. And until something tells you that you can, that's when you gotta make that quick switch. You gotta trust your instincts and your game decision-making. It's why you have to have a good in-game leader, someone who's making these calls, who you ultimately listen to, and the rest of the team acts like a part of the brain moving a little part of the body, saying move, walk, run, and you do it without thinking. This is something that THV with Vladdy aren't quite yet in the position to need to do. They are sitting pretty in what I would say probably the most desirable spot, that middle ground, because top ground is gonna have to drop, and they're the only team right now that can get shot from outside, although they have very hard angles to get shot from outside. AXG on the opposite side of things, Last Starboy and Keegan holding out this outside girl. What an interesting circle, because you know that Watson team is set up so strongly, but they're gonna have to move. This isn't going to end on that building.
Near me.
No, it isn't, and both teams will have to leave the premises, but it's like, who ends up leaving it first? These two teams might have to collide, but since they're playing outside and under, which personally I don't know, I thought playing in the building might be better, but I like this approach by THV. I think it's like the winning approach, if I do say so myself. They're trying to get angles on the other team, trying to put pressure onto them, because they know the Watson team will be okay for a very long time. And here it goes, down to the wire. After Die's taking in a lot of damage from the top team, actually ends up going down.
Oh, wow, THV. Vladdy, no knuckle clusters available. He's used them all up onto the high ground. They're forcing the Watson squad to drop. They want pressure there, and they try to take this location, which I think is the most exciting location if you are a player, because you have the most to do. You have the most area to run to. Team's going to have to drop, though, but they drop just for the KP, and this means that the team on high is going to be able to look down into what looks like a fishbowl and finish off the rest of this one. And Kelboy drops. Nate still holding high ground. Starboy, after Die, trying to get out of there, but he goes into the zone. He's going to go down to Nate, who gets a kill onto that one. Grand Feed trying to just get up top, but Kellifer from the high ground as well, able to finish it off. And Nate, again, fish in a barrel, no better way to describe it. Suru versus Toon Ed, they're going down. It is not possible. After Die, could he somehow do it? Are you kidding me? Suru, turn it around, and just like that, the unthinkable, from despair to domination, and Suru win.
I don't know what to say, Randy. I'm a little bit speechless right now. How on earth? They were the first team to have a knock on their squad, but the Gibby Dome, the Revives, playing from the low ground and jump padding out, I surely thought that they would die, but they didn't. They won.
It's almost like you can't imagine a test run or a theory that would result in that team, given their situation, that would win against a team who's got no pressure waiting for them in the circle and have high ground to kind of add cover fire. But somehow it happened, and more power to them. Suru takes the win, and what a win it was here in game number 3, 4? I think this is 4, huh?
This is game number 4. We've got 2 games remaining, so it's really coming down to the wire, and I guess that's why we're seeing these teams play as they are. Everything is on the line now. There's not much time to recover from too many bad games right now. But we've seen some incredible gameplay in this here in the beginning, this 2v3 situation. Oh my goodness, man. It was hard. It was a heart-pounding situation, to say the least. I really admired the fact that they tried pulling that off.
One of the greatest 2v3s almost of all time. Didn't quite happen.
No.
but in the almost category, that is very, very strong. And I think that's sometimes all you need. It was a good showing for a lot of different teams. I think when you talk about showing up, because this is the last game that you can really mess around with and still have a chance to win, I think everyone answered the call. I saw it from THB right away, Grand Feed. You see the success. There's team members all around. Starboy, Afterdye, and Keegan. This is where it looks like it's Afterdye who is in trouble, but it turns out to be a 1v1, whether by zone or by some unlucky thing that we didn't see in the corner of our eye. They end up in a great position, and Afterdye takes the win alongside Starboy and Keegan. Suru, V8, Tuned. What a name, what a win.
Absolutely, and to be playing from the disadvantage and coming out from that, they surely are super happy. And just, I don't know, there's definitely going to have to be some VOD reviews from the other teams to see what they could have done better, because I feel like those two teams had a huge advantage, but maybe not. Maybe I'm wrong.
I mean,
oh, sorry, go ahead.
No, I mean, I really agree with you. Looking at that, like, that last circle, it's just so tough. I mean, we could probably talk about that for quite a bit longer, and maybe when we come back from break to break that down. But it really was a questionable situation. I was like, how is that possible? How is that possible that just occurred? But it's great because those are the types of circles that on Stormpoint, even though it is not the oldest map and there's still a lot of games that have been played on it, there are new question marks to these circles that, you know, positions like that, you see one having a clear advantage, yet it's not so clear in practice as in theory. And that's something that I think the Apex Legends community and high-level community is still getting used to as far as which zones absolutely pull. Tell me the lightning rod zone, I know who wins that one, where they are no matter what, but that's just one. And I think that's kind of the fun part about it. Sometimes that zone 99% might go to the high ground, but we got to see the 1% version of it. So very, very cool stuff, and big shout outs yet again. Make sure to check out more of the action on compete.playstation.com for all of our PlayStation tournaments information, whether it's the FGC Arcade Summer Monthly Series that we've got going on, Community Series going on, or if it's more Apex Legends Slay Days, which we have 3 more of as well. You can sign up, win competitions, and cash prizes, all at compete.playstation.com. All right, we're going to take a quick break. We will be back to finish off our Slay Day #1 in North America. It is Game 5 coming up right after this.
Calling all fighters. The PlayStation Tournament's FGC Arcade is back with the Summer Community Series starting this June.
Let battle commence.
Get ready for 6 weeks of scorching competition and awesome prizes across your favorite fighting games. Sign up in-game, on your PS4 console, or on the competition center at compete.playstation.com for your chance to win cash prizes and a round-trip ticket and competitor pass to EVO 2022. Think you're up for the challenge?
and gentlemen, welcome back to our PlayStation Tournaments Masters Circuit for Apex Legends. My name is Rain Day. I'm joined by Girl, who you've seen across the Apex scene, whether streaming, whether casting, whether educating. Always good things Apex when she's around. So we've got another 2 games to go, Girl. They're going to be fun. They're going to be good because we also have seen some fantastic performances from our teams over the course of this afternoon. Seems like things are only getting better as well. Game 4 was electric. Some 2v3s, some incredible surprise victories at the end from seemingly impossible areas. So it seems like the action is heating up.
Yeah, absolutely. And I feel like some players, are starting to feel the pressure. Did someone mess up a little bit there at the end of last game, or were Suru just better than everyone else? Having the Gibby to recover was crucial in that situation. I feel like it bought them so much time. We have Fake Preds at 69 points, Toaster at 50 points, just 10 under, is the Ultimate Lovers Trio. Hopefully we can get the trio this next game, as we love to watch this team play. And Suru VA, they're coming back with the comeback story. Try and make it up there and get more cash prizes. The Bot Squad with 29 points, and so on and so forth. All Seeing Eye, unfortunately, 11th place. But there are more tournaments to participate in, and still 2 more games to go to try and get the comeback story.
That is super true. And, if you guys want to get involved or you want to go to our next one, make sure to compete.playstation.com. That is where you find all our information on PlayStation tournaments. Up next, we've got Game 5, and that means that it is 1 of 2 remaining. You can only do so much in a single game, but 2, well, there's a possibility to make a run. But it's got to start now. And it's almost like a fourth quarter of a basketball game. You know that no matter the score, if you get a nice burst out from the gate, you might have a chance to tie it up and have a special buzzer beater to make the moment yours. That's what these teams are trying to claim. And I am certainly looking forward to it. Will we see any lineup changes? Here's an idea of what the character selection is looking like. Still tons of Bangalore's and Horizon being recognized, Octanes representing at least 3 in the lobby, the Loba from the Ultimate Lovers still involved.
Yeah, we do have the Loba, the Octane, the Crypto. I feel like everyone's kind of picked their comfort hero, their comfort legend, and they're gonna play along with it until the very end, from what it seems to me. So we're gonna go into the game with 11 squads, 33 players. Oh, that does mean that everyone's a full squad. So the Deadly Duo has turned back into the Lovers Trio in this game here. So Fake Preds, they're gonna try and go for that Lightning Rod area. They're the only team really going up north from the get-go, so they'll actually be able to take anything they want up here for now. Couple teams fish farms. We're gonna see a contest there. We're gonna see a fight off the rip, and one team going shipfall, and the rest kind of on the west side of things. No one really took Stormcatcher, which is a big surprise because it is a nice POI. And Fake Preds, our team that won back-to-back games, our game number 2 and 3, they get some really good loot here in Lightning Rod, no doubt.
It's your position here.
Yeah, I mean, is there a reason you think they landed near Stormcatcher and Thunderwatch and were taking that Lightning Rod gravity cannon just to get up there instead of landing at Lightning Rod themselves? Do you think maybe wanted to show people that they were maybe having more presence on the map than they actually were in the early game, or maybe just made a quick decision?
It's hard to fly up that high, so because of this map, and the dropship is a little bit, I wouldn't say it's lower than the other maps, but because there's so much like height differential from this map and other maps, I do sometimes wish that the dropship was a little bit higher, but it's really hard to stretch that far, which is why a lot of teams utilize their gravity cannon to actually get to their destination a lot faster. If they opted to not use the gravity cannon, then they might have had to walk, but since there's 2 gravity cannons like back to back, they can just take one after the other to get there instead of walking the distance.
Makes total practical sense. Sometimes we don't forget. We forget how easy a practical decision can look like some insane tactical strategy when the answer might just be, it's really hard to fly up that high.
Yeah, it is. It actually is. My team likes to drop there in ranks sometimes. We don't drop there all the time, but there has been some times where you can test and then you're kicking each other off the gravity cannon or whoever makes it there. Oh my goodness, the flatline shots! I can't believe it. The bot squad should be going in after that, but what? No, little Kevo is alone right here and it's not getting the support that they might have needed. They did so much good damage.
And maybe that's just the problem with it. Gunzi and Eloquent Baton calling him off. Lil Kevo saying, I had this. Sometimes the most important thing is being on the same page as your teammates, not whether you can actually do the work. Cohesion oftentimes trumps individual achievement. Right now, no scope. The charge rifle will be attempting to fly. 007. Casper Kobe 24. Big shout outs to the Black Mamba. Holding down with the Wraith. Only on a white shield though, so Mr. Varsity going to have to use the gun shield and take as much of the damage as possible for the team. Overshot Storm, really the only one in a position to fight. But Eloquent Baton and the bot squad definitely inching their way towards making it known that we're not giving up this space so easily. So you're going to have to either engage with us or we're going to slowly but surely keep chipping away.
And here we come with the climb up, the follow-up from the damage from earlier. In the pings to come through. Thermite not quite connecting, so we're going to come in through the window. Oh, we're missing the window a little bit. We're looking down below. We have a knock, so we'll be able to get these shots from behind. The Gibby actually doing a lot of damage, but the teammates coming in clutch. The hip fire with the charge rifle doing the work that it needs to do. But they ended up going in together, and that's what really matters, that everyone commits at the same time.
It is absolutely what's so important in this game. It gets overlooked time and time again. Not by us, though, and not by these players. 10 squads remaining after the 11th squad has been taken down. Thunder Clutch, Braxton Trey, Turtles of Doom, Tim Boogaroo. Roster swaps aplenty. Tim Boogaroo has been on several Legends, most recently the Bloodhound, and now going for the Ash. So clearly trying to figure it out on their side of things. The Ultimate Lovers, D-Pro. Wow, I mean, just the ability D-Pro has demonstrated over the course of this tournament. Fun to watch. In a cannon, now Titan Scream. Backing her up on the Bangalore. And with the charge rifle to boot and a 3x, I love this position and this weapon. With a car, if anyone starts to pressure, great anchor play from the Crypto, using a little bit of a hybrid positioning. Unlike the Gibby, who's in that support role, but not quite unlike the Gibby, who's hanging back just a little bit to make sure that there's some support in some element, and this time it's in the form of the rifle. But there's still patience here. No need to run anywhere. They've got all these angles covered, so that's the name of the game. Already doing really well. The Ultimate Lovers don't want to slip up now, and Titan Scream taking way more damage than they probably would have liked there.
Here we come with the charge rifle. We get a crack. We get Dizzy onto Flash. We're pulling out our drone in case we need EMP, which is very crucial since we're all here alone. But the EMP comes through, and we're going to dip with the Trident so our teammates could kind of pinch them from behind. And the charge rifle with another crack. Can we get another crack? Oh no, only 7 damage, and we're gonna go away.
God.
We're playing with these Tridents. We're playing with them. Like,
I mean, this is incredible Trident play, and it's also, you're right, has this feeling of like teasing someone on the playground. Absolutely true. But unfortunately, it's not really working out for them yet to find a down. That's the difference. I would have expected D-Pro to be in the thick of things by now, but something has been stalling, and that might be the quality of Kurjix and So Dizzy on the rock above. They're holding in between both, and in the same way that Ultimate Lovers are kind of gatekeeping Kurjix and So Dizzy and Kurjix are gatekeeping Ultimate Lovers from Inican being able to help out. And so Inican's going to have to make a move here on the Trident. Titan Scream rotating around the corner with the R301. It's hitting Flesh. It's going to hit a bit of damage. It looks like it will find the down onto So Dizzy. And you can see in your kill feed there, Kurgix will fall, So Dizzy will fall. It may not be an entire team wipe yet, girl, but it looks like it's certainly going the way finally of Ultimate Lovers.
No, I think it was a squad wipe because I think Hamzy died a little bit earlier, so I think they were the last two remaining. So I think they are out of there for now. D-Pro almost went down, but they do such a great job of staying alive. I think if you're gonna land near their team, you're gonna need arc stars. You need to nerf their best ability, which is the utilization of tridents in this game, because that's all they're doing is they're taking tridents and they're pinching people like some wild dogs, like surrounding their prey, and that's kind of how they play. Really interesting to see, and I'd really like to see a good counterplay towards them later on in our tournament series or maybe in the finals. Take a look at the replays of this game and see kind of how you could play it out better the next time. And that's the whole thing about tournaments and losing, is there's always a learning experience. We still have one more game after this one, so don't close your Apex Legends yet and continue to watch your enemies and try and learn kind of their habits, and so you can counter them later on. But now we're on to It's Bad News. Oh, this is our team that likes to creep and crawl into good positions. Oh, there's actually two teams nearby. I think that scanned more than 4 people there, as there's 3 squads on top of each other right now.
And there's a lot of shuffling. You can see the impact of one scan, how many people move. That is the value Bloodhound has brought consistently to the meta of Apex Legends. That's actually going to hit 100. That is a massive arc star. There might be something to do off of that. But what, really? Because you can see exactly with a white shield what you get when you pick a fight. Nothing good, usually. Oh my goodness, Kellifer, after a great start, horrible middle. Howl it in. Kelboy not adding too much of a nice plot point for them. It's bad news now, getting more bad news in that one. Beast of the Hunt comes on. Hostiles detected. Nate's saying no duh. They've gotten down twice here in a row. I just need to be able to know how to apply some pressure. And that may not be an option for them at this point, with one being delivered to Beacon. It's bad news, just gonna back up out of this.
Yeah, and they may be able to get the immediate revive if these two teams continue to fight. THV is kind of looking for them, but they didn't actually spot them leave, which is interesting to say the least. And they will be able to loot Cowboy's box for the time being. I feel like watching this PlayStation Tournament series is like a drama, and oh my goodness, the crack coming on through Grand Feed, getting that initial knock to start off the fight was great for their team. Is there a team in that second floor of the building? I think so, because Vladdy's gonna end up going down to Little Kevo, bro. And it's gonna leave them in a 2v3 situation, but they do have the high ground. I think Grand Feet can do it. They got the one clip before, they can do it again.
Patience for Grand Feed and Vellum. And so they're just gonna skyward dive.
By himself?
Interesting. I wonder if this is a plan. I wonder if this is a part of it. And if there's a legend you're going to leave by themselves to get out of dodge and be all right, that would definitely be Bangalore. There's a lot of defensive utility and mobility innate within that kit, so that isn't really a problem for me. It is more just what's the page both of them are on, and what's Vellum doing right now? That's really the question.
Yeah, this team did end up going for the revive, so it's bad news. Blue and white armor against red armors. I think they gotta get out of there, go find the nearest crafting station, because this isn't gonna go in their favor. There's no way they can kill a team with fully red armors unless they all jump down into these fences. Could work.
It could work. I've seen something very similar in a beanbag video once. Very funny creator in Apex Legends. We'll see if they can pull that one off. An RE45 and a dream. It turns into a nightmare. That will be the end of them almost certainly. As it's just not enough. It's not enough shielding, and it's not enough pressure. Even though there is still one standing up tall. That'll be the last squad remaining. Excuse me, the last one remaining in the squad. It'll be 7 now. As So Gunzy cleans up Nate. That's just too much. And that's sometimes where it goes. The bot squad, though, I want to talk about them having an absolute stunner this game. 6 kills to Lil Kebo, bro, and 3 assists. Possibly at least 9 kills to their team with 7 squads still left. So what a phenomenal game for them, a team that certainly could use the points. And if they have a kind of screamer game like we see them having right now, could be in contention next game if they repeat to maybe vie for first place.
Absolutely. And here on the other side of the map, we've got Fake Preds kind of doing their thing as they've got the back-to-back wins from earlier. They're going to secure themselves a couple kills and potentially make this 6 squads remaining if they could find the last one. But it doesn't seem like they're even interested. They're going to loot before they can even get a thirst. And Thunder Clutch. Okay, so it's Turtles of Doom is the last one remaining on this squad. Not getting any banners quite yet. I think there's a respawn beacon in the crafter, but we don't have any points as it seems. Only 15, and we're gonna need like 50, I believe. So looking a little rough. 17 squads. There should be 21 up, but there's 17, so a lot of broken squads right now.
Broken squads. That sounded emotional right there. I just broken. I can't do it. Well, there's a lot to play here. We are in game 5, and it's with 3 rounds still to have been played. There's still 17 players left. And it's mostly teams of 3, 1 team of 2, or something like that. The Bot Squad, fantastic game so far. Can they keep it up? Eloquent Baron decides to ego challenge that one. Does quite a lot of work there. Now it's up to Lil Kevo, bro, and So Gunzy. Have at it, said Eloquent Baron. I did my job. Infamous Sniper knows it. That's why they're running away. Anakin, though, finds that kill, steals it away. That is unfortunate for the Bot Squad, who definitely earned it. But hey, that's charge rifle things, isn't it?
Oh, and now they're actually gonna get pushed. They already got Crypto EMP here, and Kevo goes down so fast. Before that they could even scream, Titans are coming. Titans surely are coming with the R301, 42 on red. Can we pull off this 3v2 situation here? And the shots are going to come through. 42 on Flex. They knocked 2, but D-Pro is very low. It's all up to Anakin to really alleviate the pressure coming in. Is that a new team? A full-blown new team? Can we pick up D-Pro and get on out of here? Maybe recover banners later? Because Titan's down, and we do not want to risk the game for this. We're actually going into zone, and we're gatekeeping. Look at that.
Smart
They're
decision.
always playing these angles.
Really, really smart team. And the conversation between Anakin and D-Pro, they're looking like if this was a duos tournament, they would be clear out favorites to win it all. There's no doubt in my mind that the synergy and communication between this team is at the highest level of this tournament. Does that mean they're going to win? I don't know. They've been fighting with 2 for quite a while. Titan Scream was doing the attack, and then there was an attack on Titan Scream, and that ended up causing this team to have only 2 members around, but a punch, a car, that's all you need. And a trident, I guess. Walk into Storm Point. What comes out? Well, 2 kills and 7 assists for Anakin and Titan Scream and D-Pro. That's all it is. And with the Crypto, it's going to be a very easy banner recovery for them. And we don't talk about it enough in competitive, how efficient that is, when it would be very difficult otherwise to waste all that time walking to go grab that banner.
Honestly, I didn't think I would become such a big fan already after just one game of competition, but like I'm ready to get some merch, some posters. Come on, like give me some, because that team is playing incredibly well. The fast decision making to get inside the zone and gatekeep, because it's zone 3, the banner recovery with the crypto consistently through and throughout this whole tournament series. Dying Scream is back with the whole Death Bond salute even. Oh my goodness, they're playing so well. There's only 3 squads remaining. Who have we got left?
Well, we know it's Ultimate Lovers, and there's still 2 teams. But I would be very, very afraid to challenge this Rolling Thunder on a Trident. You gotta just give it up to them. Suru, winners of our last game, waiting. Well, that's maybe one of the teams I'd feel confident in going at them, since they turned what looked to be the impossible into a victory. And they are now at the God spot, I would say. Probably the best spot to hold in this pad location on Storm Point. And we've got Grand Feed over in the corner as well. So our 3 teams shaping up for an epic finale here in our penultimate game. Vellum, Grand Feed, still alive. So the Bangalore duo still there, but it looks like they may not be long to live.
That's THV, Team High Voltage. It's going to be really hard to win or even survive as a duo, but hey, you never know. We've seen it happen before.
Ignore me, I'm hungry and don't know what I'm saying.
Suru holding kind of the whole area. They could even jump down to the low ground and try and get some angles. The Ultimate Lovers, I think they're gonna notice that it's a duo because they have the crypto drone going through, so they did want to push, but hey, Bangalore ulti is gonna come through. They're gonna have to play this a little bit more patiently. Now, did the duo escape? Did they take advantage of that and escape? They gotta be running far. Don't stop like some others have, because the Ultimate Lovers will chase you down.
They deserve a win like this, girl. I think they've been playing so well. I would be surprised if ending this tournament without them getting a W really captured the impact that they've had on it. And it feels like Ultimate Lovers are in a good position to do so. But Suru, V8, Tsunado, they are in maybe the prime position here, but look at where it's ending, in the middle of that water. It's going to be quite a long walk on the plank, especially with the Ultimate Lovers staring down at you with 2 to 4 times in a flat line with 208 bullets to spare.
Yeah, this is going to really come down to kind of like the Gibby versus Bangalore in the end of it, and they even have the crypto EMP to negate the dome from the Gibby if they use it at the right time. 11 seconds and the zone becomes very small, so we'll see who ends up fighting first. One of the teams don't have a Bangalore ulti remaining, I don't think, unless they popped multiple ult excels on THV, but THV not looking so good here.
Some really nice shots with the Scout, just looking to destroy the Lobo ultimate. Getting pinged with the charge rifles. Not sure the trade was worth it, but we got 35 shots with the G7 Scout. Might as well use it. We've only got about a minute and a half left of the game. Still, Keegan running through resources. Yet the gold shield is going to make them that much more effective when they are used. Titan Scream knows there's a team in front. Already cracks the shield. Grand Feed. That's going to be a fallen 2-person squad. So it is the Ultimate Lovers versus Suru. Suru looking to go 2 in a row. And Ultimate Lovers trying to find their first win of the day. One that has been, I think, just a response to epic play from Inikon. And such a great, heroic kind of statement from D-Pro. And the jump pad seems like they want to take the fight to them, but then here comes the Trident, girl. Here it comes.
Keegan's Arc Stars actually missed because the Trident shouldn't be moving if the Arc Stars actually connected, unless that only works while they're inside. But here we go, the Ultimate Lovers kind of pushing off of the damage that they've dealt. D-Pro having to use the shield battery while they're really up close. Flatline spray not gonna connect. Did they just end up trading spots here? Did they have a little switcheroo? Both teams, the Octane jump pad really came in handy there to help them get out. D-Pro not in the best position, kind of in the open here, but they weren't able to pressure with these shots. Are they gonna jump down in the open? They should be able to get the knock on D-Pro. D-Pro's 1 HP. What? Can we hit the connect? Let's hit the connects over here. No, Keegan down the open and dives to the zone. Not a chance. Starboard down to 10 HP after die. Can we see it happen again? No way. They end up losing that after having so much damage to begin with. That was a crazy ending.
And the Ultimate Lovers win Game 5. But, oh, wow, was it maybe a fumble of the bag from Suru? You gotta say, maybe a little bit of both. Yet, look at what we saw in our Game 4 final. We saw Suru in the same exact position as Ultimate Lovers, thinking there's no way that this team is going to win now, and they win. What a crazy turn of events. I don't know if this is the fastest karma I've ever seen happen to a team. Is this the fastest balance we've ever seen occur in the world's history? Either way, it definitely made for a fun in-game circle, and I think we can attest to Suru and Ultimate Lovers both deserving to be there. However, I felt that Ultimate Lovers were just so good on the day, not only in Game 4, but in Game 5 as well. A win felt appropriate for what they had done so far in this tournament, and that leads us into Game 6. But before we get there, of course, we have to look at how Game 5 transpired to get to that wonderful moment. Girl, that was a lot, to say the least.
It sure was. I've never seen such back and forth in a tournament ever. And I don't know if that just comes with the Ultimate Lovers, just playing that the way they do, but there's so much like ring around the rosy, back and forth, a bunch of revives happening. There's actually, like, to be honest, this is my favorite drama that I've ever watched and casted in my entire life. There's so much that goes on. Like, I feel like I've watched 10 years of TV series right now because of how this tournament has gone. Like, it's normally, you know, either this team wins or this team wins, but not today. Today, anything can happen and everything is possible, and that's what these teams show and prove again and again, and it's been absolutely crazy.
Well, you give somebody a sandbox of opportunities. Certainly, you hope they take advantage of them, but there's times where they take advantage of them in ways not even the most experienced people at watching them could predict. And I find myself, and I think you do as well, with our mouths agape at some of the things we keep seeing. Even moments like this, where they essentially look like they're all inning, yet they trade places. It's a great situation so far, and you can see that it looks like Suru is about to clean up D-Pro, who gets way out of the comfort zone of play, but it's a walk in the park for Titan Scream, and that's kind of the thing that I was really looking at. It's not Suru who won that game. Unfortunately, our Game 5 is going to say something different. It is Ultimate Lovers who won, but Suru winning Game 4, that's for sure. They did do that, and it's going to be interesting to see when we get our scoring back up what ends up occurring, but ultimately a fantastic performance. The Ultimate Lovers, off of that win, jump up into second place. And wow, they're only 14 points behind Fake Preds, who did not seem to have much of a presence in Game 5. If that happens again in Game 6, Ultimate Lovers would win this tournament.
Yeah, it's quite possible depending on how Fake Preds play this next match. So they have a lot of pressure on them. They're currently in first place. The biggest thing that they need to do is just stay alive, get that top 2 and try and secure themselves the first place. But you never know, if Ultimate Lovers just run down the entire lobby as they've been doing, then they could take the lead by even kills, right? So, hey, you got to be careful. And then a Toaster, they've been very consistent. They've been in our top 3. They ended up getting the first win of the series. They're at 54 points. Almost too behind Fake Preds, but you never know if they have a pop-up game as well. It's going to be hard for both of these teams to have pop-off games, though, so it's only really able to be one of them. The bot squad doing fairly well as well with 46 points. Suru ended up with 5th. They can make it into that top 3. They've been doing very well.
They can. They can.
Yeah.
They can. They had a really good start. They've had 2 really good games. You know, another really good game puts them for sure in top 3. It's possible that Ultimate Lover Trios have a nightmare game in Game 6. They could, if with a win, you know, jump into second. It would look like a very difficult task at this point, looking at 35-point difference right now at the start of Game 6 to make it into first. That would be probably a Toaster, the Ultimate Lovers, or Fake Preds who have that opportunity. But yeah, second, third, there's still cash prizing. Third and fourth have cash prizing as well. Second, double that. First, double that as well. So still a lot on the line for these teams. This is really, really fun. And the Ultimate Lovers trio in Game 5, take it. We have had Fake Preds win twice, but a Toaster, Fake Preds, Suru, Ultimate Lovers, this is our top 3. Well, it's been a great Game 5, girl, and we now have kind of highlighted it, recapped it. We know where we stand. We're going into Game 6. We've got so much action that has been going on today, and it reminds me that, of course, we have to mention, if you want to stay tuned for this and for the updates and for more that's happening around PlayStation tournaments all around the world, all around the time zones, and all around the games, check out compete.playstation.com. From fighting games to Apex Legends to other shooters and other tactical shooters as well, we've got all the answers there. So check it out. Check our upcoming schedule, compete.playstation.com, and you can even sign up for more competitions and prizes. It's been a long day. Definitely, we've been here. This is our 12th game we're going into, and I know the teams have definitely been putting a lot of effort in as well. Game 6 will determine it all. We saw Baguette ESL kind of have that kind of masterful game in Game 6 that just cemented that they were the team that should have won today. Fake Preds are in a position like that right now. If they get anywhere near the top 5 with a couple of kills and look like they're in a good position, they should be our winners today. But there's still the chance for that underdog story to take place. And we're talking about Ultimate Lovers, the ability for them to play in this, what would you even call it, girl? Scrambled, adaptable, quick thinking, kind of interesting way that has almost made it difficult for even teams to understand how to fight them because they're all over the place, but they're so coordinated at the same time.
They really took Apex Legends, the Apex book, and kind of taken it to a new level, like the Apex poem or the Apex movie or something like that. But I'm seriously so impressed from them. They really changed the outlook of the game. Like, not a lot of people have that playstyle. It's a very unique playstyle. I don't know how well it will work if they continue to do it, because people will be like, hey, I'm going to start picking up arc stars and you're not even going to move that trident. Okay, like, you're not even going to get near me. Or they pick up a horizon and maybe try and single them out. Sometimes when people come in at you from so many different angles, if, you know, the crypto ends up getting pushed by themselves and isn't able to take that trident, then they could end up losing the fight or the game very easily, because crypto's the one that recovers the banners, and crypto is, the crypto's the one that's keeping the team alive at the most, because crypto, no matter how aggressive they are, crypto's the one that needs to play safe. So focusing the crypto could help eliminate the team altogether.
It'll be very interesting to see. I know we're still loading up in our Game 6 lobbies. I'm very questioning my whole realm of consideration of how Apex should be played. We're seeing some fantastic choices and some new things. I think that's what the PlayStation Tournaments Masters circuit was all about, seeing new things, seeing players that we haven't seen before rise up the ranks, show us what they do best and how they like to do it. That hasn't necessarily gotten that same level of visibility elsewhere. So it's a big shout out to PlayStation Tournaments and everybody putting this together, allowing this to be a part of your viewing experience back at home. And for the players, hit us up on Twitter. Let us know what you're thinking. Give us insight into your thoughts. You know, at Rain Day Gaming, at Hey Girl. We want to know. We will bring it on broadcast. And the viewers as well. Let us know what you're thinking. Are you as hype at what you're seeing as we are? I hope so. As we head into our final moment, our final game of the day. 11 down across EU and North America. One more to crown a champion in NA for our first day of the PlayStation Tournament's Apex Legends Masters Circuit Slay Day number 1. It's an opportunity for all of us to revel in what we've seen, and it's an opportunity for some of these players to make an even bigger story out of a tale that I've already quite thoroughly enjoyed. But if the Ultimate Lovers could pull something off like they just did and win this thing, man, I'm gonna be tweeting, I'm gonna be sharing, I'm gonna be talking about this for a long, long time, because that would be something special.
They are the Ultimate Lovers, and they work so well together. So we have them as champion squad. They are playing the same legends as they have been, so nothing changed now that they are in second place. And we're just gonna see if they're gonna get and end up getting contested or not. All full squads, 10 squads, and it's really down to where's the zone going to be. Is it gonna be good for their squad? Are they still gonna play aggressive as they have been with the tridents? Do they land on tridents? Do they like ensure that they get them by landing on them? There
I
are
don't know,
two
yeah.
near Cenote Cave there, so it might. But everyone's dropping now, and I think we're gonna take things slowly from here.
Taking things slowly? Are you talking? You can't be talking about Ultimate Lovers, because that's not possible with them. They are pedal to the metal. I'm surprised, actually, I saw Fake Preds not really have a game that stood out to me last game around. They've been so consistent, and I know that we haven't talked about them for a minute. They've had such star-studded games and such big wins back-to-back that they kind of soared out in front of the lobby. But there have been some new storylines here, so it's really about them now, I think. I want to see how they can bounce back, how they can assimilate with what they've seen these other teams do, the kind of mid-level successes that they've had, and how they can make it a little bit better. Landing on Lightning Rod, we know what they have to do. Their task is to win. If they win the tournament. There's no doubt about it. If they even place top 3, you would say they win the tournament. So aiming for that high-end type of success, not easy. It means you can't make a lot of mistakes, but that's what Fake Preds need to do, and it's better to know your assignment sometimes than to try to guess at what miracle do we have to pull off and just hope the stars align your way.
Yeah, and watching the teams drop from the beginning, I saw the Ultimate Lovers kind of landed in their corner of the map alone this game. I don't think anyone wants anything to do with them this game, because they've been dominating whoever's been near them, and they've been kind of like bullying them in-game in a way, because they've been cornering them down and chasing them down. So nobody wanted to land near Cenote Cave this game. 007 is going to continue to get that good loot coming from the armory. L-Star, not my favorite weapon. Hopefully we can find the Havoc inside here, unless this is their favorite weapon. I don't know. It's not about me, it's about them. But to be honest, L-Star is, I would say, bottom 3 guns in this game. What would you say?
I would say, you know, I think it's harsh to say that, because you have so many weapons. Yeah, well, you have so many weapons that are intended to be bad, right? Like the P20.
But the P20 can have hammer points.
It can. But, you know, then you have to decide, am I including every attachment possible for this weapon? Because you're not usually running Yeah, you are.
Every weapon fully kitted, I think it's top 3 worst weapons, maybe even top 2 worst weapons, in my opinion. I don't know.
Fully kitted definitely changes the conversation, but it changes it in a different way, because it changes it the way I think that they think about designing. Because remember, we were looking at the alternator, and there was this conversation that one of the designers was bringing up that the alternator has like some of the most successful downed rates out of any gun, right? But everyone went, why would that be? There's no need for an alternator. Like, are you kidding me? I'll never take an alternator over an R99, right? Of course it doesn't down more. The issue is that you're dealing with mid-game, early game, and late game, and those have completely different impacts. None of these players are going to use a P2020 in late game, unfortunately. And so the impact of why that L-Star doesn't have hammer points is because it's a weapon that could be used late game, but they're balancing it for it to be used as a middle weapon before you pick up your flatline or your this and that. So in a way, at base, it's better, but it's also worse because a fully kitted P2020 definitely can bring more value to an overall kit. And it's a tough conversation to have. I mean, I think overall what you're saying, fully kitted, yeah, I mean, L-Stars doesn't have much to kit, and plus it's not really that effective right now. I certainly wouldn't ever choose to play with it, so I'd agree with you on that. But it's an interesting conversation, right? Because, you know, how are they intending to balance it? And right now the bot squad says, you know, what are you talking about, Rain Day? Pay attention. We're going in. Listen and chat about us. And I agree with you. We were getting off topic there, but let us know what your thoughts are in the chat about the L-Stars. Lil Kevo, bro, and the bot squad push in to try to clean up Nate, as Eloquent has done. And they've taken a couple squads out. Already 2 down this early in round number 1.
There it goes. The first squad out of here. Bot squad end up picking up the first KP of the game, which isn't great for the ultimate lovers who want a big kill game and a win. But we'll see. The game's just beginning, right? So what did we see about this map? Is it pulling out here onto this team? Do they have a great spot? This is a toaster. Oh my goodness. I feel like I haven't seen them in ages. The storyline just changed so much. Vellum getting cracked. Oh, here are the ultimate lovers. So they came all the way from Cenote Cave all the way over here above checkpoint. And it looks like it's going to be a very similar end zone to what we had, I believe, in game 4. Yeah, so we do have a similar end zone indeed, and they took the Trident all the way here, and they are ready to fight.
Bocek bow in the hands of Inican. And a Trident carrying destruction in the form of a trio. A little bit of damage, 20% of the bullets. Damage are going to go into that Trident, spread across the team members in it. Doesn't sound like a lot, but definitely can add up if you just keep getting hit. So making a quick rotation and actually hitting a few of the body shots there. Crack shield. So the bot squad putting in some work, forcing ultimate lovers out, and they're just going to have to reset, pass a couple of shield batteries around to each other. Nice setup here. Get some information on the crypto drone.
Not quite sure what the plan is, but it seems like they're going right back in with their tridents. Multiple tridents, but they're taking so much damage, and Anikan has to get out of there and heal up with another shield battery. I don't know if this is the play, what they're trying to do, because the bot squad has been so aggressive. Look at the damage, 7890 flash. We're going to be able to get a knock on that one here.
It has got to be a knock. And you know that for whatever reason, we have seen the second place team get a little bit too confident. And Titan Scream has gone down. They have a banner to recover with a crypto, that's not a problem. And we know Deep Pro and Inican can pull off some heroics. And maybe that's exactly what's going to happen here. The car finds damage, but look at this, it's a third party, and he cannot guarantee that. Look at that. Deep Pro, what do you have in the tank? You're going to need it all. Every last ounce of fuel. And I don't care how high gas prices are right now.
Oh my goodness, the third party. It was not good for them because they may not even be able to recover that banner. They don't have crypto anymore. The banner's kind of in a tough position where it's in a choke that's not easily accessible. D-Pro on their lonesome, getting shot by literally the entire map. I don't know. They can't be fighting in end zone like this because everyone's here. It's like a college reunion over here. Everyone is here and they're partying, and we just can't have any fun because we have 2 down teammates and it's a 1v3 situation. Oh my goodness, the most MB's gonna come. Oh no, we cannot take this Trident. We're stuck. We're stuck. The Trident's not working anymore. It's not working. We're down to 10 HP. Get behind in the smoke.
Oh, and just like that, a dream dies. D-Pro and the squad of Ultimate Lovers Trio, who have pushed so far into second place, are out. And that will secure that they will not challenge Fake Preds for first. And that almost secures Fake Preds will get first place.
Yep.
But we still have a lot more to play for because it is possible a Toaster has a pop-off game that is big enough. It's unlikely, but it's possible. But it's also possible that a Toaster has a pop-off game or a decent game to push them into second and to bump Ultimate Lovers Trio down. In fact, the Bot Squad, the team that they were fighting, already with at least 3 kills to their name, they're a team that only, I believe, 18 points behind the Ultimate Lovers Trio. So let's posit that they go on to win this game. Should almost give them a chance to jump into second or in third place, especially if they keep finding pressure and kills like this. So there are a couple teams now who are very, very happy that they can be in the money. They might even have a chance to jump into second place.
You can really tell that they're having a lot of fun right now because they're hitting so many good shots. They don't have a Valkyrie, so they can't quite chase that other team, but there are some other teams coming in with a flank. The shots are connecting so well on little Kevo, bro. Really feeling it, really energized, confident, but hey, we might need to tone it down just a little bit. There's too many squads around. We're in end zone, okay? Let's calm down, reconvene, heal up. Do we even have many meds left? Because I feel like we've been fighting the entire game.
And I really love that. When a game gives me that pace, feels like you're in flow. Like the old psychologist Csikszentmihalyi talked about, the perfect combination of ability and focus and difficulty, bringing you into a laser focus, which we call flow. When time passes by, you're having such a good time. You're challenged, but it's fun, and you're capable, and that's where we are here with what feels like the Bot Squad. That's where we've seen Ultimate Lovers and D-Pro for most of this tournament. Not anymore. But a team that I've been very, very surprised at, and I'd love to check in on if they're still around. Fake Preds. We have them still in the lobby just to know, since they are our leaders, what's up with them. I have a feeling that they're in that bottom southern side. But Bot Squad right now, maybe the team who can make the most movement. Big 54 from Eloquent Baton. Is this another 3 they're gonna get? Absolutely. Bot Squad on a mission. So far, successful.
Nice mission indeed. They've been on quite a few missions and came back home safely, so great on them. Securing themselves another few kills. All-Seeing Eye. They're playing Caustic. They're playing Edge Zone. And you know what? Hey, they've got a goal. I think they're in 11th place thus far. And if you make top 10, you can make finals, right? So, hey, just make one more placement, and that's a win in itself. See them maybe do a pop-off game and even potentially win this one because they have Caustic, Valk. They could get into end zone, into North Pad. There's lots of room for them, I believe. And maybe they're preparing for that skyward dive just now.
That's a great point, girl. You do have some good ones. No way were we thinking about the last place situation here, but it's a matter of qualifying. And that kind of is what's important, qualifying for the grand finals. which is coming up in about a month or so. Top 10 gets it. 1 through 4 here gets cash prizing. And you know, that's a great day of work for these players and amateur professionals. Well, I would call yourself a professional if you're winning. If you're winning money playing this game, definitely can call yourself a professional. So I would continue to keep pushing for it. Suru, V8 Tornado, they have had a great second half of this one. And here it is. I think we're actually watching Fake Preds get into their first engagement of the day, and they are going to win that one out. That's almost going to do it for sure. Fake Preds should be your winners. 4 squads left. Braxton Trey falls. There's still the bot squad, though, who have a stunner of a game. And this is, if I'm looking at it, the one that is the biggest story, aside from All Seeing Eye, who are only 7 points behind Thunder Clutch, which is finding a way to bump Ultimate Lovers Trio out of second place. They need at least 18 points. And with the kills they have now, that would mean probably a second place or a win.
Very doable, very possible here. Anything's possible in Apex Legends. Well, almost anything's possible.
Really? Wow. I could become a pro.
Well, yeah, that's possible. You know,
I mean,
if you put in the time, work, dedication, and maybe take some of my coaching lessons. No, just kidding.
I knew there was something somewhere. There's a catch somewhere.
There's always a catch. There's got to be a catch. There's a catch in life, whether it's from me or somebody else. There's always gonna be a catch. Someone taking advantage of their assets.
That's right.
Exactly, and this is the boss squad taking advantage of their assets as a wonderful team with over 8 kills, because it's 1 kill, 7 assists, so 8 kills and up. As you said, second place or first place could for sure do it. Are we getting the care package? What's in the care package? The care package can be game-changing, of course, but oh, look who's gonna rain on their parade. Fake Preds up here with the Horizon Ultimate doesn't really do much because those arc stars kind of just ended up going to waste.
Gets right back up on the black hole, excuse me, on the gravity lift after the black hole. And that's the beauty of this ability. It's just multi-use for multiple people. You can go up once or twice before the duration is done. And that just buys them time and space. Picks up a shield battery just sitting there on the ground. Nice find. A little bit of heavy ammo too. So it's Route, Fake Preds, Daniel Spams, JRM. Stars of the day. Most likely winners of the day. But their stories we're following along just as closely. And that's definitely still developing, as we've got the bot squad, who are so far the closest next to our first place team and in zone already, and so that clash seems imminent. There's really not a lot of ways to go into the zone now, but I have seen this kind of outward flank girl towards the water, which can work at times.
Yeah, it definitely can, and I think it is even ending out towards the water or towards the end of North Pad. So playing on that outer edge, utilizing the bins there at the edge could work for them. But they do have to make this rotation and without getting shot down. So hopefully the top team doesn't have many charge rifles and focus them while they walk in. They don't have Valkyries, so they can't fly to the other side. They have to run it in here. 10 seconds until the zone pulls in. Another team that has won a game is Suru V8, and they're still alive and well up there on the top of North Pad. They have a good chance of definitely maintaining that top 4 placement as well. The bot squad doing well. And take a look at the map. The small circle in that map is where it's going to end. So it is going to end on that left runway. And we get a crack with the R301 on the bot squad. Do they want to risk their game by walking up these stairs and potentially getting beamed? It looks like Eloquent's already doing that, trying to find some angles. Gunzi as well, looking for some angles, playing the Wraith. They have very good legends to be able to risk it a little bit, but hey, the zone's going to close in and we won't be able to utilize that staircase for much longer.
Silence in this moment here. Setup is the name of the game, and they know it. There's one fight left. And they've got to get it right, girl. There's just no opportunity to fail if you want what you want, which is to bump into second place, win that extra doubling of your cash prize. You're probably already going to get something, but one fight can double it. I'll take that. So you know that the stakes are high. As they rotate out on this right side, 50 seconds left. There are only 4 squads remaining, and really only one that looks in position to stop them. And I think the bot squad want to take every angle they can so that no one is in that position whatsoever. But do you get aggressive? A Toaster has decided to do so. Oh my God. Are you kidding me? Seer, beautiful interrupt there. With the micro drone, Seer using his focus of attention to disrupt the Valkyrie ultimate, and now a Toaster jumps right back up. One of the only teams, in fact, the only team above the bot squad right now. And so that is bad news for them. The bot squad hoping a Toaster somehow just gets out of this fight earlier. Maybe the bot squad has to take this fight to a Toaster. But it's going to be difficult now that they've taken the outside edge of this zone. And this, to me, is usually the best place to play this from.
Your Plug's Plug actually ended up getting hit off of that Valkyrie ultimate, so they have to run their way into the zone, but they are kind of getting shot at from this team above in that position. But hey, take a look at this. Their teammates trying to help them out with the Newcastle from literally like so far away, and it's working out. Survey is actually, oh, they're only a duo. They lost their Octane. Keegan trying to go down as well, but ends up getting killed. Are we going to be able to get a recovery here? Very good shots by Afterdie, but it is a 1v2, and it looks like Keegan and Afterdie end up going out. So it's down to 3 squads. The bot squad pick up even more kills. This is really exciting for them.
Yeah, because especially the only other team they have to deal with right now that you don't want getting any more points or even coming close is a Toaster. You do not want to share those points. You want to knock them out in third. That's the team they're fighting right now. There's still one above. And playing on this horizon, Bangalore type of composition, they're going to have to go against something very defensive in the Newcastle. That's a Rolling Thunder. Eloquent Baton has said, let's get them out of here. Lil Kevo Bro has not opted yet to use any of the abilities, still holding on to a Black Hole and a Gravity Lift. The tactical and the ultimate. Everything you need to win a fight. And they've got ordinances as well. You can see the one grenade in the hand of Lil Kevo Bro. Will that grenade explode in just the right manner to push them to the top? Ahead of the 2 competitors there. Toaster taking damage. Call me bot. He goes down, and that's Infamous Sniper now under much more pressure. You cannot get out too far, your Plug's Plug TV, because the Newcastle mobile shield isn't there for you anymore. Still using what bit of castle wall remains, girl. Yeah, it may not be enough. He gets the shield battery off, though, and that could be the start of a fight. This is the final circle that will decide it all, and the bot squad have to go big or go home.
And here you have it. Your Plug's Plug is full and ready. Going to try and greet this team there on the left. But Lil Kevo, bro, going down before he could even do anything. That's Chirrut here. And oh my goodness, there's only 2 remaining. They get the re-knock though. Your Plug's Plug ends up going down. Eloquent Baton doing major, massive work.
Oh my God. They're going in. This is it. This is that moment. They found a kill. They've got 2 alive, and they've somehow been able to steal points away from the rest of these teams, but they overcommit. So Gunzi goes in, and the smoke delays it. Eloquent Baton is the last one left for the bot squad. What can a Peacekeeper and a Dream do? Smokes aplenty to the left and the right. 18 on the Peacekeeper. You hate to see it, and it's Fake Preds who take the day, and they take the last game. They are your champions in North America, PlayStation Apex Legends Master Circuit, day number 1.
They really showed us why they're meant to be here. That's 3 wins out of 6 games. They won half the lobbies here today. Incredible victory. They're like, hey, if we're going to go out with a win. We might not need these points, but we're going to take these points, baby. Nobody's going to take these points away from us. This is our win. This is our time to shine, and that's what they've proven to us.
They are so good when it counts, and that's what it means to be a top team. We see it time and time again. So many great plays in the middle part of these games, the early part of these games. The skirmish fighting is phenomenal. You could name 5 teams that gave us great moments in all of this tournament. But the teams that won, you can name one team that won not once, not twice, but 3 times, and that's Fake Preds, and they are going to be your champions as well. But it was a crazy game from start to finish. Obviously, that's how it all ended, but it was kind of all about what can Bot Squad do? Can a toaster make this happen? And we can walk you through the drama of it all, because it wasn't just Bot Squad. They stole the thunder from Ultimate Lovers Trio, who we thought might have done the unthinkable and won this tournament in the final game.
Actually, really crazy to see so many teams here at the end zone. Prior games, there weren't this many teams playing in the end zone or rotating as quickly, but the Ultimate Lovers kind of got what was coming to them. They couldn't be playing these Tridents all 6 games, so at least one of them, hey, we're going to get focus fire. People are tired of us, all right? Yeah. That's what it looked like here. They tried to the very last breath, which is really respectable, but unfortunately they went out, and I don't know what place they ended up getting. We're going to have to see that in our leaderboards.
I don't know what place they ended up getting quite yet either, but it was all Bot Squad at the end. We're thinking, can they do it? They certainly came close, but it was Lil Kevo Bro who took a little bit too much damage, isolated from Eloquent Baton and So Gunzy. And So Gunzy making some miracle plays, but just dives in too fast. That 18, if it was any different, would it have made a difference? Probably not, because you can see on the other side of things, there were 2-3 members from Fake Preds ready to go ahead and attack. And Fake Preds take game 2, game 3, and they finish by taking game 6. What a performance from them. So proud and excited to see the way this tournament shaped up, with Fake Preds 98 points at the top, and Bot Squad did enough to overtake a toaster and the Ultimate Lovers Trio by 2 points to get 2nd place and double their prizing. Well, that, maybe you didn't get first, but that certainly feels like the win that you needed in my book.
Yeah, they really deserved it. They did everything they could. They even, I believe, got 3rd place in that last game. So if they got 2nd, they would have been even further up to 2nd place. But yeah, it was really nice seeing them play so aggressively and confidently in that last game. And hey, they stole the limelight. They stole the show there at the end, but Fake Preds did come in with that win. A toaster and the Ultimate Lovers Trio did tie 3rd and 4th, but I believe they both get the same prize.
They do. They do. Yeah, so it's kind of moot, but I mean, clearly from a placement point perspective, the only difference is that a toaster is above, but when you look at the Ultimate Lovers Trio, they've got 2 more in terms of elimination. So really amazing split there in terms of how they approach this game and this tournament. Game 6, what a phenomenal showcase for all of us to see how these players maneuvered. All-seeing eye, unlucky, almost had it. There was a moment, but it just didn't work out today. And they'll have plenty of chances to qualify again and come back, of course, to qualify for our grand finals. And for those who want to know what we've got going on at compete.playstation.com, it's Mortal Kombat 11 Ultimate, the FGC Arcade Summer Community Series beginning June 10th. That's in 3 days at 9 a.m. Check that out. Call of Duty Vanguard Open Series Invitational. That'll take place a week later, June 17th at 9 a.m. And Rainbow Six Siege, the monthly final. Check that out. And it's the next day at, you guessed it, 9 a.m. Any more information, check out compete.playstation.com for all the details. Wow.
And that's it.
What a day. Girl, I mean, any last words? This has been a fantastic tournament. It's been a fantastic day of Apex Legends from Europe to North America. We've casted them all. Any takeaways and any kind of final words to everybody? And just want to give you a moment before we close off.
No, not too many words. Just a big thank you to PlayStation for having us. Rain Day, thank you as always for being an amazing duo caster and host to be with, to cast these amazing Apex Legends gameplay. Shout out to all the players that competed today. Tell your friends, tell your family, get more people involved, make these lobbies a lot more fun, and just a shout out to everyone in the Apex Legends community for bringing us on and lifting us up.
Great words from a great person. We're so happy to have you, girl. It's been an equal pleasure on my side as well to be working with you here. We've got more Slay Days coming up, and I will shout you guys out. In a couple of weeks, we'll be back here again for some more PlayStation Master Circuit Apex Legends. We've got 4 Slay Days in total, and that'll lead us to our grand finals. I appreciate everyone here. Thanks, a big shout out again to PlayStation, the production crew, all of the viewers, all of the players, and everyone involved. My name's been Rain Day, and as always, never give up, never stop gaming. We'll see you next time.
Calling all fighters. The PlayStation Tournament's FGC Arcade is back with the Summer Community Series starting this June.
Let battle commence.
Get ready for 6 weeks of scorching competition and awesome prizes across your favorite fighting games. Sign up in-game, on your PS4 console, or on the competition center at compete.playstation.com for your chance to win cash prizes and a round-trip ticket and competitor pass to EVO 2022. Think you're up for the challenge?
PlayStation